Finally got a haircut.
Oh, so did I. Can you see me? I gotta.
Hang on, I gotta search you again. Whenever I search your name, if you're streaming, you pop up, but if you're not, are you
I just
streaming?
started streaming.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ooh, that doesn't look right. Yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. Let me mute you on that one, or else. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I went to this like it's kind of like a like a cool uh Latino place
Uh
to
huh.
get my
Oh,
hair done.
where?
Yeah, yeah. In Culver City, it's a new one. It's called Visions with a Z. It's on Sepulveda, or no, it's on Overland, kind of near the park, whatever that big park is in at like Culver in Overland. So I went there. They're actually the place I went to right before I got engaged to Brenda. I went there, and that's how I know it's been 10 months since my last, or 9 months since my last haircut, because I got my haircut there right before I proposed. So I was like, yeah, and I was
That's
like, man, you
funny.
guys do like cool haircuts here. It's like I was going to like a cheaper place in back near my old place near Santa Monica, and like it was okay, it was fine. But these, they're always doing like cool fades and stuff like that. So
What's
I ended
your
up going with them.
link? Do you have it?
Oh yeah, let me find that.
Check. Check.
YouTube.
I don't know who. I don't think because we stream during the day. I don't think anyone's. Maybe we'll start getting people from like Thailand or something that
Yeah,
watch our
right.
stream.
Oh, true. Yeah. Um,
Totally different like time zone. Or actually, I don't even think that's right. I don't think that's right. Maybe someone from Hawaii or no, East Coast. Maybe they'll be like, "Oh, it's my lunch break. Let me watch these guys stream."
yeah. I think a lot of people as are working from home can still watch like videos or something, as they're
Right. We
doing
need like
emails and typing it.
topics. Like today, we're talking about
Oh, right, yeah.
blame and manga. I don't know. It's just like all Dylan talks about is manga.
That's a good.
I finished Blame Volume 2 last night.
Nice. How was that?
It's an enjoyable. I could see how they adapted a lot of the first two for the animated thing on Netflix,
Oh, okay, right.
But they changed a lot. But there was like, oh, yep, there's that plot twist and that thing, and
Mm-hmm.
but there's like 3 or 4 more of them. So
Oh, more volumes. Interesting. Okay. Is the
yeah,
Netflix one done, or do they still do
well, it
making
was a
it? Or?
movie.
Oh,
And
okay.
it could be done. It could be like, oh, and the hero just wanders on,
Yeah.
or they could be like, well, we last left off Killy. He
Right.
was.
Does this stuff have like endings? Because it does sound like like there's kind
I
of
think so.
repetitive open world kind of
Sort
thing. So.
of like. Well, I mean, there's sort of ambiguous endings, maybe, because like Bio Mega
Mm-hmm.
kind of had an ending, I think.
That's
It's
interesting.
an ending, but it's not like an ending.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
Um,
Endings are the hardest, man. Yeah, it's like.
it's he's so good though. I think Blame is his first one,
Yeah.
and so you could see him becoming better
Okay. Wait.
over the thing. And I think I've read him backwards because I think I read Knights. What did I read? I read Biomega and Abra, which those are later.
Oh, okay.
Abra's like real one-shotty, like it's a book. So I don't know if that means it didn't do that well,
Yeah.
so they didn't keep going, or because in Japan there's constantly. My understanding is they're constantly. I guess like anything, but that guy, I heard one guy on Cartoonist Kayfabe, he was like this American guy who went to Japan and had a manga there, and they
Oh,
had
you're
like
talking about
three volumes.
Uh huh.
I think it was 3 volumes, which a lot of people don't get past one, or they don't even get one to begin with. So I think, there's thresholds of like, oh, you get a volume, oh, you get two, oh, you get three. And I think the editors try and work with you and they can see like, hey, it's not
Oh,
going
right.
well.
Yeah.
Let's end it here. So I think there's
Oh,
there's
gotcha.
vision that there's like an end,
Yeah.
which I guess American comics kind of do. Um,
Yeah. If there's gonna be, yeah, if it's not, yeah, if the sales aren't going well, they'll be like, yeah,
like
you
the
gotta
try and wrap
wrap
it
it
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's uh, well, I know a lot of times, like now, and probably it's smart, like they're writing right on. Like I'm reading the DC, the Strange Adventures or whatever book, the Tom King
Uh
one.
huh. Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's yeah, like on it, it says like number whatever. It's like a 12 issue series, right? So it says like 5 of 12. Like it's telling you like, okay, it's not gonna go on forever. It's a mini series, so
Right.
which seems smart sometimes to, because sometimes people, I think a lot of people now are like, oh, do I have to? I mean, I am like that. Like, oh, is this just gonna be like an on? Sometimes I want to read an ongoing, but something like that, I'd be like, no, I don't want to read this forever. This feels like, I would say like a movie versus a TV show, or a movie versus like a mini series, or like they're all different feel. Like which one is best for this particular story? Like, is it a movie
Right.
where we get in, we learn some stuff, and then we get out, or is it like is it like a longer, like, is it The Wire where we meet these characters and go through all the ups and downs for several seasons, and then before we finally have a sort of an ending.
Um, I don't know.
So that guy who like went to Japan and had the manga over there, what is he doing now? Is he doing like stuff in America?
I don't know
or-
what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I don't think that was made clear on the but that was pretty. It was like a 2 episode thing, and
Okay.
I would recommend checking it out.
Okay. Cool.
So I forget his name. But he just like worked his butt off.
Oh,
It
sure,
was
yeah.
like
Did he talk? And he didn't have assistants or anything, right? He just did it all himself.
he would hire someone every now and then to help him with tones.
Okay.
But I don't think he had. You have to be doing pretty well to have
Oh, it is probably just to afford it. Yeah, it's probably.
to afford having.
That's interesting though. Like, imagine like people, like, is there more money in comics over there? Because imagine like how many
There is.
freelance. Oh, okay.
Well, it's a huge. It's a much bigger market. Like
Okay.
there's this like, and Ed Piskor talks about it. That's a good one. That if you watch that one, they kind of talk about the industry a lot.
Yeah.
So you'll have a better sense of like, oh, okay, I see
Yeah.
how it's different. It's just bigger. Like everyone here, when the new Marvel Star Wars came out,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, it sold 1 million copies.
Yeah.
And then manga like thinks they'll sell 10 million copies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like they have like
How
they're
do-
called like doujinshi conventions, and they're basically fan art conventions. And the publishers don't crack down on it because they're like, yeah, go
Oh.
ahead, promote our stuff.
Wow.
And so you can make like they're like good fan art. They're like kiddie fan art. They do like dirty fan art. Like you
Yeah.
could be like, oh, it's the X-rated version of Evangelion or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And people make a lot of money doing that. And like the more people go to those, then it's like 5 times the amount of New York Comic Con.
Wow.
Like it's
Yeah.
just huge. It's huge. So
Wow.
it's just a huge part of the. So I think it's hard to do it, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think there is maybe a little bit more. I don't think he made a lot of money though. I think he got by.
Yeah.
Um,
Where do you live? Do you live in Tokyo or something, or do you live in like?
I think
somewhere
so. Yeah.
else? Okay.
No, I recommend those. I'll try and find him and send
Okay.
you the link. I
Hmm.
forget his. The minute I see his name, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's Pee Cho or Pikachu was like, um, was his book, and I'd heard of him because I met him at Long Beach, and I wanted to buy his book, but I didn't have any cash, and he didn't take a card.
Oh, you were talking about that. Yeah, that's
So I
so
was
weird.
like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Hmm.
Felipe Smith,
Hmm. Okay.
Pe- Peepo Chu, Peepo Chu. I don't want to get
Oh yeah. Put that on
so.
loud.
There, I sent it to you, and that
Cool.
was really good. That was really really insightful.
Okay.
Okay, if I close Facebook, will it close Messenger? Our call.
Mine opened in a new window, so you can see if you have another separate
Let me
window.
see if it'll close. Hold on,
Okay.
let's keep
Yeah.
talking.
Let's go. Go for it.
Check. Are we still talking?
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Because I think Facebook eats up a lot of bandwidth.
Oh, does it? Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll. Oh yeah, I think I closed mine. Something to say. Yeah, I was just thinking of like when you're talking about like hiring people. Sometimes I'm like, are they just like freelance like tone artists just hanging around like ready to go?
Well, I think
Like,
they're all wanting to be.
right. Yeah.
I think they're all working on their own thing, and then like they kind of
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever watch that Urasawa no Manban thing?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of them, but I usually just scrub through them just because they're so long. But
We should just sit. We should just sit and watch them and like
yeah,
hang, like
yeah, yeah.
you watch one and like because I love watching those. I sit and watch them all. I'll watch them the whole way through because it's so
Yeah, I should do that and just like have I don't know, have something open so I could just be doing a little work at the same time or something. But sketching.
Well, it's tough because it's subtitled,
Yeah.
so you don't
Oh yeah,
really
yeah,
understand what they're saying.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah.
Um, but it's pretty cool. There's a couple like choice ones that are like oh yeah, you gotta watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down. We should do that sometimes too. Show viewing party or something. What do you call it?
Yeah, is there a way to do it? You could even make it like a sip and sketch thing. Like, hey everyone, we're gonna watch this. You can sketch or watch or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the thing is just to join one thing. It wouldn't be like this where we're each hosting our own. We just like you could just host it and then we all just watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which I know I saw. I didn't try it yet, but well, actually, I think I might cancel my Disney Plus. But they have like a watch together feature, which I'm not sure how it works. Like, I'm like, does everybody have to have Disney Plus?
I think
guess,
they all
then?
have
Like,
to have Disney Plus,
okay,
probably.
so you
Yeah.
get to watch it together somehow. Like,
I canceled mine too. A friend of mine said, "Oh, here's my password if you want to watch it." But
yeah,
after the Mulan concentration camp thing, I was like, I don't know, man. At some point, you have to be like,
oh wait, what?
"Hey, I'm not for this."
Concentration camp thing.
They filmed in a Uyghur concentration camp.
They did?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You're like, okay, and I canceled it. I was like, look, when I read about this, I wish you all the best, but you gotta like, I have to stop, take a stand at some point.
Yeah, wait. How did that happen? Like, you think Disney, they know about, like PR and stuff. Like, I can't imagine how that went about where someone's like, yeah, we need to film. And like, yeah, let's just film here. You're like, what? Like,
Yeah, you can look it up. It's like,
that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. I do you watch South Park?
no,
No,
but
okay.
I do. When I watch it, I like it. I just
Okay.
don't sit down
Yeah.
and watch
Well,
it.
there's a new. It's called the Quarantine Special. You should watch. It's pretty funny. It's like 40 minutes long, but it's called the Quarantine Special, and it's yeah. Oh wait, you don't have HBO Max, right? Oh, okay. Well, but on there anyway. But Mickey Mouse is in it, and he's talking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's like, of course, he's like filthy, like, just a corporate whatever dude, and he's like, But he just talks about how like the Mulan thing didn't work out or whatever, and he's like talking about how they're like hemorrhaging money, and he's just like complaining and trying to hatch some scheme to like get money from people. It's really funny.
Oh, they talk about Mulan not working
Oh
out.
yeah, it's funny.
It's funny.
But
Well, it was a lot of money that they were trying. It was like $30.
yeah, that was I was like, man, you guys must be desperate. You're trying to like that's a lot of money, man. That's 30, but like I'm gonna pay more money than I would pay in the theaters to watch it at home.
I think they were just targeting um, those people that have like 5 kids and want
Yeah.
to watch Mulan.
No, I think I did see somebody on Facebook who was like, "I'll pay that. We're definitely gonna pay that. Like, it's for my kids or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah,
whatever."
if you're during quarantine and you have 5 kids, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, what y'all liked Mulan. Although the animated thing looked a lot better.
Well, that's what everybody said. It was somebody was talking about how like it's Mulan with all the stuff taken out that made Mulan good, like those
Yeah,
songs and the dragons gone.
her charm. Even she was a lot more charming
Oh, okay.
in the animated one. Whereas in this one, she's like, I'm a girl boss. I'm awesome. Like she was a lot more stoic, and it wasn't as I don't know. From what my friend said, I was like, oh, okay.
Someone was saying that they like she was like just like super badass from the beginning. Like she didn't even have to like she was just like this awesome warrior like in the very beginning of the movie. And then like so when she joined the
Kind
army,
of. I mean, she had a little bit of training. She had more training than Ray, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah.
There was like I got to get up this hill, but it was like in a montage, which I think she probably was trained in the montage in the other one too.
Okay.
But I think it just, I haven't. I'm going off what my friend said, so I think I should just shut up and watch the animated one, and then kind of voice my opinion here on this.
Yeah.
But my friend, she was like, it was fine, not as good as the animated one. It was like, I don't think it was like, so.
Yeah.
If that's what people who I would consider her like in their target demo are saying, then it's like, okay, well, probably didn't work that well if people are saying like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Not great, not bad.
Yeah.
So. But she showed me like a couple clips from the animated thing. I was like, oh yeah, that looks really good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, have you? You never seen the actual animated movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I just saw it because Brenda likes it, and I hadn't seen it. So yeah, I was catching up. We need to watch a few more movies. I think I need to watch the newer two Toy Story 3 and 4. I still haven't seen. And
Toy Story 3 is good. I haven't seen 4.
Yeah.
Girl I went to college with wrote or was one of the writers on 4.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what else? Brenda's never seen Willow, so I'm like, we gotta watch Willow. Oh yeah, like, it's so good. I love that movie. I watch that movie so much as a kid. It was like
I wonder if she's gonna like it.
I don't know. She's cool.
It's a bit of a nostalgia.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pretty fun movie. Like it's really fun. Like what all the characters are like really fun. There's a lot of humor in it. It's very adventurous. You got like the whole village of little people, which is fun. They're all running around and
the Shire. I mean the.
Oh yeah, I never really thought about that. That's true. Yeah. But it's funny because it's funny that it's the Shire, but it's like the Shire before they ever made the film, or not maybe like a live action. So. But,
oh yeah, for that was George Lucas trying to be like, well, let me try and do.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings. There's this girl Lindsay Ellis on YouTube.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yep.
Have you seen her Lord of the Rings stuff?
Yeah.
All 3 parts.
Are you talking about the new one? The not Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Yeah, the Hobbit.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, the best part.
Oh my gosh.
The best.
Where it's like suddenly a 3-parter when it was supposed to be 2. I'm like, how meta.
Yeah, that was great. That was incredible when she did that. I was like, that is so smart. Yeah. And they actually go to New Zealand or whatever. I was like, that's how much money do you guys have? But
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And her friend and her like really excited, and I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, no, I watched pretty much all of her. She has a really good commentary on this stuff. It's really like funny and like insightful.
Oh yeah.
be
Yeah, she's good.
good resource.
Um,
Yeah, I want to read her book. Because she wrote a book. Like she actually wrote like a fiction.
yeah, I got it
Like
for because this guy. Did you met him, Brandon, at the Super Bowl party?
okay.
The big tall guy.
Yeah.
He was the one who introduced me. He's like, "Oh, have you heard her? Have you seen her stuff?" You know, and he also introduced me to Red Letter Media,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which is a wonderful rabbit hole to go down. Have you
What did I do
seen?
again? I feel like I know that name. I know I've
That's
seen
like
something.
Mr. Plinkett's prequel review. Have you seen those?
Oh, yes. I need to go. I don't think I've watched that whole thing, but I have.
Oh, you
I am
got
aware
it.
of it. Yeah,
It's
I heard
very.
it, yeah.
They're very. My favorite one of his though is the Have you seen Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
No. Oh, yes, I've seen. Unfortunately, yes, I've seen that film.
Watch the Mr. Plinkett
Oh,
review.
yeah. Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
You're like, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Unfortunately, I saw that in the theaters and left like, what? The
Oh,
hell?
of course I saw it in
What
the theater.
just happened? What?
I know. It's
How
too
did
bad.
Steven Spielberg like look at himself in the mirror after that?
It's fine. They just wanted the money. They're like, hey, let's have some money.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Just for the money.
Yeah. I wonder what
I
George
don't know.
Lucas is doing now. Like, what is he doing
I think
now?
he's
Like-
working on. Well, he was working on a museum,
Oh, yeah, the Star Wars museum.
which I was excited about. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be like a Star Wars museum.
Yeah, it's gonna be out here now, right? I think it was.
Yeah,
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 it was-
we get it. So that's great.
yeah. It
I'm
was
like,
gonna be
dude,
in
I'll totally
Chicago,
go.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think Chicago was being, and then up north was being weird. So I think LA
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
it.
I forgot what happened. Yeah, because I remember when I was still in Chicago, it was they were talking about it, and people were excited. But then I think there was something that happened where like Chicago, they didn't want to give them some sort of enough room, enough space, or something, or I don't know, whatever, something they were asking for that the city didn't want to give into it. So they were like, all right, we're leaving, go somewhere else.
I know he was kind of getting tired of it and wanted to sell to.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish he just would have hung on to it, and we would have at least gotten weird George Lucas
Yeah.
Star Wars movies. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, maybe yeah. I just wish he would have, if he could have learned from his mistakes on the prequels, and then like, had his ideas and stuff he was into, which he's a good filmmaker and has some good ideas, but like had some people help him. Like if he just stopped surrounding himself with like yes men and
yeah,
had some friends that were like screenwriters and people like that other filmmakers would be like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Like, I feel like as soon as you stop sharing your work, man, like, I don't know how you have that much confidence. Like, oh, I'm just 100% right. I don't have any bad ideas.
Well, when you're George Lucas and you've started the biggest franchise since ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, but it's that's actually the point where you need the most help because
Right.
you're going to be can't call yourself on your own bullshit anymore, like.
I know. I appreciate the prequels a lot more now, especially after having seen.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like you're like
Well,
dating your high school girlfriend. And you're like, no, I'm ready for something more. You're not good enough, and then you see what else is out there. You're like, oh, maybe I should have appreciated my high school girlfriend more. You're like, oh, maybe things weren't so bad.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
That's interesting. I don't know, the Anakin stuff, man. Anakin was just bad. Like the kid Anakin, grown Anakin, like just not good casting. And then, I mean, that's a problem. Like the green screen thing just killed all the.
I think he should have done more producing and supervising, and then getting good directors and writers. The way he did the original ones.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he wanted to do it. It's still the highest grossing independent film ever.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Because they're technically independent films.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How do you get the money to do that?
Because Lucasfilm, like he had THX and all the merchandise and all the everything, you know.
Oh right. The new ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
The original ones, no, but he hung on to the rights and the
Right.
merchandising
Yeah.
rights. He got deals that they don't give anymore
Yeah. They don't.
because
Yeah.
before anybody knew anything, they're like, yeah, sure, you can have all this. He's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't do that anymore.
Which is kind of like, I don't know, kind of stupid on their part because they're like, no, we all want a piece of it, which I kind of get, but it's also like, I don't know. He took a shot and I don't know. He created like an empire that kept going instead of like having one hit thing that he might not have been as invested in if he didn't have those,
Yeah.
those rights and stuff. So you're like, oh yeah, well the production company was stupid. And you're like, yeah, the production company is stupid, but the overall industry got a whole bunch, jobs for years and years, and all the re-releases and everything, and the movie theaters, and
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of benefits to that. Star Wars just being around. So
That would be like the Image. Well, again, not to bring up Japan again,
yeah.
but that's how the mangas are. They keep all the rights
Oh, that's cool. That's really good.
because
Yeah.
that's the goal. Is that it's like the Image model where they publish it and they get a cut and they make money off. See, that's the thing. There's so much money to be made in publishing that's okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
gotcha. Yeah.
they don't need to try and glob onto everything because they're like, yeah, go ahead if you ever sell anything because you know what, it'll sell more books.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
yeah.
so
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think.
I don't know, we wouldn't last in Japan, I don't think.
Oh no.
I don't know that I'm good enough, and then also just the output. It's like 14 pages every 2 weeks,
Wow.
every week.
Page a day. Page a day with no weekends off. Right, something like that.
I think so. I saw like manga artist schedule. There was something on the beat. Here, I'll share it for our.
Okay.
They're like, oh yeah, I like watching you and Dylan stream, but all Dylan ever does is talk about Japanese comics. Speaking of, Humble Bundle has like this deal for scary manga for like $20. I got like 50 manga.
Oh, really?
And they're good. They're good so
nice.
far.
Okay. I got I never really did Humble Bundle before because lots like PC games I don't really play, and like, but I did one. Image Comics had a huge one. And I posted it online on Facebook and stuff because I was like, this is crazy. Like it was like so many. It was like the first couple. It may have even been full runs of some books. Like it was insane how much stuff you got for like, and you could do different levels, but the highest is like $40 maybe. I need to.
And you got like 200.
I got so, dude, and they're so huge. I'm like, I can't even download all these at one time.
Yeah.
Usually I would just download them and like
Keep them.
Yeah, just keep like have them somewhere so I remember. But let me find. It's insane.
Okay, so looks like sample work schedule of a manga artist.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he sleeps.
Sleeping. Oh my
Not
god.
a lot.
Yeah. Oh my god. Look at that. What is it? What's that day? The first day. Why is the gray is sleeping? Right. It looks like there's 2 hours.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours. Is that like during the day and then he sleeps at night?
Oh, maybe it's just.
No, that's 24-hour day. It's 24-hour
wow.
day.
Wow.
I bet that's the day before everything's due.
Okay.
I bet everything's due
But then you
at
can't take a day
on
off.
Monday
like,
at the
imagine
Orange.
crunching every week, and then the next day you just have to go right back. Like you're like, okay, got to crunch to finish, and you're like, okay, tomorrow I start all over.
I bet you it's like Sunday at 1900. See, he meets with the editor.
Yeah.
They make more changes that morning, meets with the editor again, and they publish everything. And it crashes.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Okay, dude. This is what I have through the Humble Bundle.
Meal
thing.
break?
Oh, meal break. Oh, how long is their meal break?
It gets an hour at least. That's good.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, Let me see. Where's your screen here?
Let me see if. Oh, hang on. Let me share the. Window capture.
We could just do like Zoom, I guess, and invite people to our Zoom.
Okay. All right. So, do you see
Be
that here?
like, hold on, I'm getting to your
Okay.
feedback. Wait, I can just look on my stream. Hold on.
Oh, sure.
No, I just see the comic page. Maybe there's a lag.
Yeah, I think there's a lag. It's crazy. Any day now. But dude, it's so much. I'm like, I don't really. Yeah, we talked about this. I like physical books, but I'm like, for the amount of this stuff and stuff I would never really buy,
Yeah.
I would really never buy it. But like to get this and just be able to read through it, like, yeah.
Oh,
give it a
yeah,
try,
totally.
yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at your thing on a separate.
It should, man.
Oh, there we go. I see it.
Okay, so yeah, so Farmhand Volume 1 and 2, which is the guy, the
When
artist.
was this?
A couple months ago, I think.
Oh, cool.
Earlier this year.
Yeah,
So,
that's the Chew guy.
Yeah, Chu guy, the artist who writes and draws it. My heroes, the Always Been Junkies. That's the criminal guys did that. I don't know what Buzzkill is. Sex Criminals, of course.
I've read Buzzkill. It's fun. It's about a guy who has more superpowers the drunker he is.
Oh,
but
that's
he's
funny. Oh.
But he's an alcoholic and he's trying to be sober.
Oh, that's great. Sex Criminals. It seems like big collections of that. Curse Words. I read some issues of that, but that'd be fun to read. Have you ever read God Hates Astronauts? Oh,
Is
dude,
it good?
yeah, it's a webcomic. Yeah, it's a guy out of Chicago and like, he's one of the first ones I knew about that did Kickstarter and did really good. But then he's the artist on that. I forget. I think it's Charles Soule or whatever, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Killer Be Killed, which I've heard is really good.
Yeah,
Also,
people like that.
5 volumes of Criminal, which I definitely want to own those at some point, but 5 volumes just to have it. Stray Bullets, 4. I've never read Stray Bullets either. So
Stray Bullets is great.
4 volumes.
A lot of these are free on Hoopla.
Oh, really? Okay.
All the Image comics.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool. Oh,
Yeah, Ice Cream Man is weird and cool.
I heard that was cool. Persona.
Heavy Liquid, that's nice.
Nice, okay.
A little Paul Pope.
Yeah, they're not like.
Have you read that?
No. Wait, maybe I did back.
Paul Pope's great. Oh, all the Black Science.
Yeah.
Invincible. How many Invincibles are there?
It looks like 3. I have more than that.
Just enough to get you hooked.
Yeah. Well, I have more
and the
than that.
third trade is when there's the big. No
right.
spoilers here.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of a world changing moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Nail Biter, 6 volumes of that, which I don't even. I think I had the first volume here that somebody let me borrow.
Unnatural. That woman is so talented. Who draws that?
Oh yeah. The art.
Merca.
Really cool, yeah.
She's great. I met her at Emerald City Comic Con. I bought her a sketchbook just cause, but she had to have a translator with her because she's Italian, so she's like, thank you, you know.
Nice.
Blackbird, that girl is really popular. Jen Bartel.
Yeah, she's amazing. Oblivion Song, that's one I already get that, but Redlands, I think I read a couple issues of that. I would definitely want to read that. Outcast is good. I've already read that though. Pretty Deadly, Volume 2 and 3. I read the first Pretty Deadly, but I never read the. Have you read Pretty Deadly? It's interesting.
I'm sure it's good.
It's a very I think it's definitely worth checking out, especially the first one at least, because I read it. But it's like it feels like an anime or something. Like it's very vague, and the characters it's very over the top, but things are very dreamy, and it's really hard to describe. But it's a very unique comic. Revival, which I should read because I know Tim Seeley from Chicago and have never read
really?
Revival. Yeah.
Did I?
Oh, and Hackslash, his other book too. Yeah. There you go.
I feel like there was a book of his that I liked. Tim Seeley. I think it was. I forget what it was.
Dude, have you read Copra?
No.
I tried to read it and I was like, I know people talked about it. And it didn't make any sense to me. I read a newer one, but it was like, and his art is so interesting. It's not it's very amateurish, but it's in some ways it's like someone who's really has a lot of talent, but it's like it almost can't fall in. He can't fall into like a standard comic book style, but he kind of wants to, or I don't know. It's such a like right on the cusp there. It feels like someone who wants to draw like Jim Lee, or like whatever standard superhero comics, but like also somehow their brain is stuck on like indie mode, where like the characters all have to look like things just look weird. The angles are kind of strange, like. So it's just kind of a weird mashup where I'm like, I feel like if this guy was just a little bit better, he could be a legit comic artist, but instead he has to draw like these kind of weird things. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's
He's
also hard to.
popular, I think, isn't he? He's
Yeah, apparently, like it's. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, Monstrous. I read like the first one of that, so I like to read that.
it's a very
Oh,
popular
man.
book that I could not get into. Um,
Dude, do you
it
ever?
looks really pretty.
Yeah. Did you ever read Nowhere Men?
That's the science of the new rock
Yeah,
stars.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I keep
yeah.
talking about that. That guy, he finally that artist. I think he had some sort of like mental issues, so he stopped after the first volume, and then I think they had someone else come and finish it later, but it wasn't the same really. But I don't know, like years later. But the artist, he's doing a new book for Skybound now. It's actually just about to finish, called Stealth, and that's a really
Oh,
cool book.
really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
check that out. Yeah, that's a cool. I really like his art, and it's a fun story. It's about a basically a superhero. Is like this older guy um, in Detroit, and basically he's like this older guy, and he starts to have like Alzheimer's, and it's a lot about his son is trying to help him and figure out what's going on, and he
Oh,
didn't like his son didn't even know he was a superhero, and then he finds out he's a superhero, but then his dad's also like going through like he's fighting people and thinking it's like the 80s and stuff, and the guy's like, what are you talking about, like like he's just that guy.
oh,
Yeah. Oh, Snot Girl,
sounds
we got some
depressing.
more Brandon Graham, some Snot Girl here.
No, that's Brian Lee O'Malley,
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought.
and it's just
Oh,
written by him.
oh, you're right. Never mind. Okay.
And then I forget Leslie something draws it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
She was at Comic. Do you remember Comic Arts LA back in the day when we could go
Yeah,
leave the
yeah. I
house?
know. Yeah, yeah. Years ago. Yeah. All right. Let me go
Um,
back to drawing here.
those first couple years we went, I had a good time, but I never went back after that. I was like, man, I can't be spending all this money.
Oh, that was the hard part. Yeah, that's always the hardest part for me. I'm like, I just like I never have enough money when I go and I want to buy like everybody's book just because. What's nice about that is like they're just smaller books usually, like maybe a collection or like short thing. So like usually you're pretty cheap. So you're like, oh, I'll support you, a little scrappy artist, usually. But
I don't know. I think there might be some scrappy people,
oh
but
yeah,
some of those
well,
people were like
well no, you're right.
pretty like,
I
oh
think
yeah, I
you're
have
right
a book
actually.
deal with Marie Tamako.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
nice.
Oh no, I think you're right, and that's also one of those shows that like I like it, but I'm also like I don't like the. It's kind of that we're the indie comic scene, and I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, like I can read, Goodbye Chunky Rice and stuff too, and still like superhero. Like we can sit next to each other. It's not.
Right, right.
There's no
Oh, you think
reason,
there's like a vibe of like,
Oh yeah, like do you see these?
okay, yeah,
There's some like sci-fi is like okay, or like vampires and stuff, but like you're not gonna see superhero books there.
right, right,
Even if they're
right.
like indie superhero books, which I'm like, I don't know. I just think it's stupid. Like I don't really like the separation of like that people just make up for it. It's like people don't go to
You,
Sundance. Like I'm only gonna. I guess at Sundance you don't see like superhero movies, but you could. I mean, you could see. I'm sure they would do like a sci-fi movie or something if there was an indie
oh,
one.
you think it's like the Sundance of
Yeah, it's
sort of, I
yeah.
guess.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of them like that though, and I just don't like it because I like the smaller like vibe of the shows like that, like indie shows. Because like I don't like that there's only two flavors. There's like small and indie show where you have to like be fit in this like certain genre. Your style has to look kind of like indie, like whatever, like um, or you have to go to a giant mega show where like you're competing against like Marvel, and I was like, no, there's an in between there. There's independent people, or just let us be with the independent people. Like, yeah, I do superheroes. Yeah, I do genre stuff, but and I use like whatever regular printing. I don't do Rizzo printing or whatever. Like
Oh yeah, the Rizzo
yeah, I do.
graphs.
I think a lot of it's like that. Like, how do you color your stuff? Do you do like full Photoshop coloring? Like, oh, that might not. It's a weird like internal checklist. I feel like almost a lot of it's just like what the art just looks like, and you can tell. But I feel like that's one of the things. Is like, oh, do you actually color in Photoshop with like shadows and stuff, or do you just like do flat colors, or do like really chunky big textures, and then that's okay. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's stupid. I don't. I just don't think as independent creators, like, I don't know. We should just all stick together and be able to do shows together. Because there's a lot of like there's a show in Chicago called Cake, the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo, and it was like that. It was like there's no, I'll go there and I'll check out books and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. These people are doing cool things, but like they would never let me in there, And I'm like, that's just depressing because it's like I'm doing the same thing. I'm writing my own books. I'm publishing. I'm not published. I'm not, just doing my own stuff. But because I do something about like, you know, fantasy orcs fighting or something like that, but not in like some meta whatever way, they're gonna be like, no, you can't go. Like you're not accepted. I've applied. I applied a couple times and never got accepted. It's like,
Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know.
yeah, I know it's a fine line. I mean, but I don't know. I was actually talking to there's this guy at Pulp Fiction that used to work there. I don't think he might work at Long Beach one still, but he
Ryan
maybe like
had glasses.
no, it's a different guy. This guy was like he was Latino, like yeah, his skin was a little darker.
Oh,
Damn it, what was his name? Shit, Steve something. Oh, he goes by Zarstar. I remember that Zarstar Studio. Do you know that guy?
I don't think so.
No, okay. He used to he used to be. I think it was back when Mike. Yeah, I think he works at Long Beach still or something. He does stuff there, but he does comics and he does his own stuff. And we would always just talk, before Comic Jam and stuff. And I was talking about like, I was like, man, I'd love to just have my own like start a new comic convention for, like independent creators, and that basically just, like a Comic Arts LA and stuff, like very similar, but we just don't, what do you call it? Discriminate based on like
Right.
style or subject or anything like that. So it's like the only thing is just no. And we were actually talking about like, well, what would we allow? Would we allow like small publishers? Because Comic Arts LA does have some smaller publishers. So it's like
Yeah.
maybe some small publishers, but like no retailers. Like I think that's the main thing is to, which is a tough thing when, like because they're probably the ones who would pay a lot of money to have tables there, the most money, but.
Sure.
But I think the whole key to these small shows is, yeah, you're not competing with somebody selling,
Deadpool toys.
Exactly, Deadpool toys at the front of the front of the place. Like, there's so many people you do those shows, and then you're like, oh, you came to this indie show, and you have this giant toy that you could have bought on Amazon, and
Yeah.
like instead of getting like it, creator owned, book. Like,
I think they're there for the sort of. Well, there's different people there for different stuff, I
Yeah,
guess. Like, because some people are like, "Oh, do something with the kids this weekend,"
yeah.
and other people are just like, "Oh yeah, I want some pop toys." They have. It's like it's like they're not going to go to San Diego and get the toys, so they're getting.
Oh right, yeah.
I used to always get an art book at that Japanese. There's a Japanese stand, Remember, I would always get like those little.
Oh, this is actually.
But I'd always buy stuff from
Yeah.
people.
I know, but we're different. We're
But we're like, oh yeah, I'll support you. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So. I think that's right.
My dog is protecting our house over here.
Oh, good. Very
It's probably
interesting.
like a bird or something.
Yeah, I
I don't
finished
think
reading.
dogs have really evolved past like they should all. They're like should be on a farm where if anyone comes, it's like a big deal.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, I'm in suburbia and there's always people walking around.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. That's a
There's
good point.
always
Yeah.
other dogs and
Yeah.
like everyone's territory is so small.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do
Yeah.
I know? I don't know
No,
anything.
that's like I forgot someone was posting. It was from a Louis skit, which is persona non grata now, but he had the thing on the show about I don't know if it was stand up or I thought it was on his show where he goes to the doctor because his back is messed up,
Hmm.
and someone and they were like the doctor's like, oh yeah, yeah, that's my diagnosis is that your back hurts, and he's like, well, what do we do about it? And he's like, oh, well, nothing really, take some, medicine or take some painkillers or something. And he's like, there's nothing we can do, like surgery or something. And he's like, no, you're like 40, like it's just not. Maybe if you're like 30 or 20, we would do something, but and then it goes on to be like the whole he's the doctor goes into the theory of the spine. He's like, well, the spine really wasn't meant for walking upright, like that. We're not done evolving yet. So he's like, he's like in about 20,000 years, I think we'll get it. It'll be like evolved to the point where it works well. But right now, the spine is still converting from a four-legged, you know,
You're
posture.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense, right? Like every every other animal. Oh, I think that was he says that too. He's like, oh, if you want it to help, just walk around your all fours all day, and that will help your spine.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, stuff like that. We're like, oh, that's interesting. Like we're not really set up for this yet.
It's like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. What am I gonna do?
This these checkers are not the right size.
Oh, you're doing another page with him hooked up.
Yeah, so I need these are bigger checkers. I'm gonna have to do the Dan move and draw them.
The damn. Oh,
Actually, draw out the perspective. I
oh
should
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can
instead
see.
of cheating with my cheating and tracing here.
Oh, I mean, well, you could cheat too. You can easily just make a grid. Oh yeah, what are you doing? Oh, is that what you're doing?
No, I'd had a checkered floor but I'm just gonna make a grid right now.
Oh yeah, or just oh okay.
Okay, so how do I do this? I do a vanishing point.
Oh,
Vanishing
yeah.
point is like
It's
I don't
usually
think those table. I don't think that left table leg is right. We should fix
yeah.
that.
Well, since you're doing 2 point perspective, yeah, this is going to be a harder thing.
I can just eyeball it.
Yeah. I mean, why don't you just make a uh, instead of using like a photo or something, make a new grid.
That's what I'm gonna do right
Oh
now.
yeah, okay, just make a make it real plain and
So like,
the hard thing is how do you make it equal, right? Like I'd almost start with something that's like maybe 1 inch high by 2 inches wide, and then just make it exactly half is black and
oh,
half is
you're
white
saying to.
to make the unit. Yeah.
So I need to make the horizon line first, right?
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, figure out your horizon line. I would say
Okay.
don't like. Yeah. Okay. So.
So I got the horizon line, and then I could do a grid.
Yeah, I was thinking a new document. Just like, hang on, let me show you. I mean, I
Wait,
guess
let
it
me
doesn't
put
have to be perfect, but like whatever.
no.
So I'm thinking
Let me
like
get
if you
like
just start. The hard part is filling. That's the hard part. You could even actually do the filling after, but now it's probably better to do it first because that way, when it's behind things, you won't have to like be guessing which ones black and white. So yeah, so I'll just do this and then fill it, right? Like, oh, you have your grid actually. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's really good. Since I don't use that, I didn't think about that. But yeah, just have a vertical grid or whatever, and then or just you know
Well, here I'll
make
do
sure
like this is. Let's see. That's
make sure
one.
it's like a
That's.
good size though. Just or
Oh
that
wait, I think that's wrong. It should be the other way.
Hmm.
Oh, I can use the grids, maybe.
That's what I meant is to like because if you see what I'm doing, like I just was drawing a thing, and then I would have gone in and filled filled every other one with black. That would be the most annoying part. Would actually be doing that. I'd probably that's why I would actually what I would do is just in Photoshop start a new document. It's like 1 inch by 1 inch and fill it with black, and then like start new documents 1 inch by 2 inches and drop that in. That's your unit, and just keep make like a row basically, and just copy that a bunch of. That's what I do a lot of times. Is just make one thing and then repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. So that way I know it's all even and whatnot. So
Yeah, I'm just eyeballing this. I'm gonna have to crack open a book on. But these aren't actually gonna be in the frame. This one's on the right.
yeah, no drawing, but drawing. What do you call it?
Perspective.
Like, yeah, drawing that in perspective. Like the what do you call it's the same. The principles are always the same, but when you're doing it with multiple uh, perspective points, like one point's pretty easy. That's why it's like such a fun like little trick. But when you go into multiple, because then the problem is like the reason it works with one point is because you can measure every like 1 inch. You're like, okay, that's where an even line goes, right? That's where the sub or
Right.
2 inches, whatever you want, and then it's easy to just go from that. But when you're perspective, it's the distances are different, right? So you'd have to do something like that X trick where
Right.
you figure out like where the next one is, and then do it all down perspective. So you know, but yeah, there are ways, but yeah, it's always and really yeah, it's just such a I don't know like I'm so
Such
glad
a
that we
pain.
have computers because it just makes it so much easier to do this stuff. I mean, yeah, just
Well, I guess
making
you just had to do the ruler stuff back in the. You'd have to be like, oh, well, I gotta
yeah,
do.
get a freaking meter stick out, and it's like everything's way off the page, like halfway across the room. Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's why people's drawing tablets or tables were so huge back then. Do you ever know anybody that had one of those, like those giant ones that like they go vertical, they go all the way vertical, but they're almost like I don't know, 4 feet or 6 feet wide or something. They're like just massive.
Um, you talking about like Cintiqs and stuff?
No, like an old school drawing table, just like a drafting table, like
Oh,
a big one. Yeah, I remember
I
going to
mean,
someone's house.
I have a drafting table, but not. It's not huge though.
Yeah, no, I went to someone's. I think it was like a art thing. I think it was a massive black thing in Austin years ago, and they had the dude there had this gigantic drawing table. It was like it must have been 6 or 8 feet wide. It was so huge. It was like you're like this is insane. Like, and it went full vertical. Like you could put it full vertical or
Oh, really?
tilt it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's legit.
yeah.
So how's Cecilia doing? Have you talked to her? She liked my post
Oh,
just now.
nice. She was
She's
nice.
drawn a lot.
Yeah, yeah, she is. That's good.
Does she go to the sip and sketch?
Yeah, she does. She was not there last or on Tuesday this week. I think she was there last week though. A lot of times she just hangs out and doesn't like talk. She just sits there and draws, which is
Yeah, yeah.
fine. But yeah, she's usually there, or she's there. I don't know, like at least half the time. So that's good.
I have class on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
So wait, what are you working on today? You finishing that page or what?
Yeah, trying to color. I'm working across two different pages here, so I actually need to kind kind of jumping around however I want. Like,
Jump, jump,
yeah, I should want to do some
jump
background
around.
now.
Jump, jump. So I started watching Underworld last night with
Keep betting
not
again?
Underworld,
No.
Underwater
Oh,
with
okay.
it's good so far. I mean,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think it probably falls apart. If I remember, if any of the reviews I read are right,
Yeah.
but I'm like, oh, it's all right. But I think it's easy to start things.
Yeah.
Hard part
Okay.
is. But I always liked Kristen Stewart. Did you ever see? There's this movie I saw called Personal Shopper.
Oh, I never saw that, but yeah, was that good?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
She's like trying to talk to her dead brother, and she's a personal shopper and all this stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, she does interesting movies. Did you see On the Road, that adaptation?
No,
Yeah,
was that good?
yeah, I liked it. She was good in that too. Uh, okay, let's do some background
Okay, we've got a checkered floor that kind of looks okay. I wonder if I can move. Oh, you know what I can do is I can move. Well, I can move some stuff. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, see. It's basically what I had. It looks a little better. I don't know.
where the guy in the lab suit?
He's not. He's gonna have a different background.
Oh, okay, it's a different. Okay, okay. But yeah, okay. I don't really. Dude, you're driving me nuts not having panel borders. I really don't understand how you do it. Because I like want to, I want to see. I'm like, oh, how does that fit into that background? Like.
You're like, where are your pan? Here, I'll make.
Is
some
there a
panel
reason
borders
you
right
don't
now.
like? What is the reason for not putting them in till the end? Like it seems just such a strange.
What is the reason? Because I think I just. I don't know. Now I'm
Yeah.
just out of the habit of doing it.
Okay.
I guess
mean,
because a lot of times I'm like don't know what I'm doing until I'm done. So it's
oh, okay.
oh, I don't know where that'll be.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for you, just keep doing it. I just like it's just something like that. That's something that with my process, like I start, like I have to know where the borders are. Like I pretty much start with the borders, and then fit the drawing into the border. Like I rarely change the border afterward. I might like be like, oh well, this will be a full bleed panel, so I might do something like that. But for the most part, like the border, once I have the border in there, that's kind of like even just having the borders like on the page. I really like how that looks, like because I just feel like it
Yeah.
kind of I don't know implies the story or like how one leads into the other or whatever. But
See, I'm gonna leave this one. Here, watch this. I'm gonna leave. I think I'm gonna leave. Oops. What is it again? Here.
that's right.
Oh yeah, I gotta do my. No, I need like 50. No, probably need like 100. Is that right? Yep. 100 pixels wide is one thing. Got my look at that. I got a little little diagonal.
Let me see here. Oh
See
yeah,
that?
okay, cool. Yeah.
But then
Is that how do you how do you draw on the panel borders? Do you use
I use a mask. I have a layer mask for the outside line, and then I have a layer mask for the
but the layer mask is that like so you just use a selection to make it or do you use a brush to
I
make the
use
mask?
the shape.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
okay.
use the grid to go.
Yeah.
Oh, so like the top is 3.5
Yeah.
squares long, deep,
Yeah.
and the two sides are 2, and then yeah, maybe that's when I started doing. When I started figuring out, I'm like, oh, this is what the shape is, It's like, oh, I'll just do.
Um yeah. No, that's cool. Okay. And do you no, you don't always do white. Do you always do white or no, because you have like soul bleed pages,
Sometimes I do
right?
black.
Sometimes you do black.
I
Okay.
think these are all white though.
Okay.
This issue.
That's cool. Okay.
I don't know. Who knows what we'll do? Who knows? I don't even know anything. It's like here, and I do the outside as a different mask so I can futz with stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing though here.
You know, I don't understand still about RGB. It's like so when you go like I'll do curve adjustments or anything where you're messing with like RGB like them separately. Like
Uh huh.
where the hell is yellow? Like how do you mess with yellow when it's RGB?
Oh,
Like
yeah, I don't know.
it's like a combination of them, or I don't know what it is. I'm like, how do I boost the yellows if you know? I guess I do
That's a
color
good.
balance or
I
whatever you
don't
want to.
know. That's
Yeah.
a good. How do you boost the yellow?
Well, I think the best thing to do is probably do uh, color balance. That'll do it like big and better.
I think we need more grids here.
Yeah, because if you go into um, color balance in I'm in Clip, but Photoshop the same thing. There's yellow. There's a yellow slider in there, yellow blue slider. So that would tell me that it's related to blue, but like just taking away blue doesn't make yellow. I don't know. I just like curves because it kind of does everything on one. Like it seems a little fast for me, and I like playing with it because it's like. Do you use curves at all?
Um, I think I do sometimes. I
Yeah.
use the threshold to punch the blacks.
Oh
What do you
yeah,
use the
yeah,
curves for?
yeah. For color, like when I'm done, usually what I do is like,
You just do a little adjust thing.
yeah, you can punch up like you could do. There's one separately for RGB or CMYK, whichever you're in, but you can do each channel, or there's one that's just for the overall, like the like the brightness, right? So you can do like I usually maybe punch up the brights a little bit and punch the shadows. Make the brights brighter and the shadows a little darker. But you can make like an S curve, and you can make the middle point neutral, or and you can go all along a graph, and the visual, so you can like see where they are, and then you can go into each color, and it's just like for me, it's just playing around with the sliders, and until something looks cool, right? And you're like, oh, cool, there we
Right.
go, yeah, that's nice. So
You're the one who got me to do like the great slapping gradient maps on stuff every now and then,
oh
just to
yeah, yeah,
kind of.
yeah. Oh, I want to share this. I'll share it with you. Uh, Speaking of which, Sherman. You remember Sherman? He used to come to Comic Jam.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Anyway, he did the Lightbox thing, the online thing, and some guy in there used gradient maps a lot, and he actually had a bunch of like custom gradients he made.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so he actually he sent it to me, so I have that. So
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'll
Yeah, I'd totally
send
check
those to
that
you.
out.
Yeah, you have to just find them. You have to just find it's weird in Photoshop. You have to find like the root directory to where your presets are. Like it's usually in your user because you're on Windows too, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to go into like find your where the presets are. Not like
Oh, it's like super
it's
complicated.
not really, but it's hard to find it. Like I don't know why they do this, but it's kind of buried because it's usually under your user settings. It's not like if you just go into the program file. Like if you just go find
Right.
where Photoshop's installed and drop in your presets there, that doesn't do anything. It's based on like whoever you sign into the computer as. So what you can do is when you're in Photoshop, when you go to like say load a new gradient or anything like that, it will show you
Uh-huh.
on the computer where it is, and you kind of just keep hitting up to go to the higher, up the chain of the directory, and then you can
Uh-huh.
find. Sometimes you can even copy and paste the location. I actually have one on my computer where I just made a shortcut because once I found it, I was like, let me have a shortcut. And it takes me to my brushes, but then from brushes you can go up one level and go to any other preset and drop stuff in there. So sounds more it's not that complicated, but
I
it
don't know.
is.
Sounds pretty complicated.
It's annoying, is what it is. It's like why does it have to be like that? I don't know why people like it should just be like a universal thing across, you know, computer like your users, but whatever. Got anything going on this weekend?
I work on Friday night, like
Oh,
5 to midnight, and so I just have to do homework and stuff
what do
this
you
weekend.
what the hell do you do from 5 to midnight?
I teach students in Korea.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
so it's like their Saturday morning
Wow. Oh, okay.
on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm zooming
You're a zoomer.
on.
I hate that term. I just hate it. Like
I'm
I
a
just
zoomer.
God, I just like
I'm a snowflake. I'm a zoomer.
I don't think what he calls are ever really cool. Like
What?
I don't think those like Gen Z, Gen Y, like they're ever really cool. Like I don't think anybody's ever embraced them. Like yeah, I'm totally Gen
Oh,
Y.
right,
I'm
right, right.
totally a
I don't know. I,
millennial.
I
Like
feel kind of. I'm Gen X. I'm at the
yeah,
tail end.
okay.
I'm like barely Gen X.
I just feel like they're always a little derogatory. Like I feel like it's always made up by the older people to describe the new generation, and then they're like, is that
What are you?
uh
You're a millennial, I think.
I don't know. What's the one before millennial? Is that Gen X? I was born in '83, so I don't know. I think it's
Let's look it up. Born in 1988. What
no.
generation?
I'm '83. '83.
Oh, 83.
Brenda's '88, but yeah.
You're a Zennial.
What the fuck's his name?
Oh, it says I'm a Zennial too.
Uh oh. Welcome to the club.
Zennials are a mix between the so-called pessimistic Gen X and the optimistic millennials. It says between 1977 and 1983.
Oh, interesting.
Is this like a new thing? I feel
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
didn't hear about this.
I didn't agree to this. Yeah.
Zennial is a term being used to describe people between 1977 and 1983. So that's both of us, because I'm 78.
Yeah. Yep.
Should we brand our streams as like the Zennial
The
stream?
Zennials art cast.
Just a couple of Zennials trying to balance our pessimism and optimism.
With art.
Interesting. Current in the between Generation X. Oh, this is a 2014 article. Between Generation X and the millennials, there's a group of people currently in their late 20s and early 30s. I don't think I was in my early 30s in 2014. Was I? 2000. Wait, so I'm 42 now. So 6 years ago, that's 36. That's not early 30s.
Yeah.
Oh, but you would have been, there are people below me, so I'm at the top end. I guess. I don't know.
Unfortunately, yeah, there are people younger than us.
That's good. We welcome them. Come to the Zennial Club. We're pessimists and optimists, and we welcome all generations here. You don't have to be pessimist or an optimist. We go both ways.
Yeah, yeah, there you
go. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to add. I'm going to give him a yellow background because he's going to be intense. He's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Of course, then he's got this green light. Doesn't really gel. Still too bright. Wait, so did you watch Blame, or you started to watch it and you didn't like it? Is that it?
I watched I probably watched a couple of minutes of it. And I was like, the animation wasn't really like my I could be persuaded to go back. I should probably just read the manga. I need to read more manga. So.
Yes, you do. You have to read Pluto.
Yes,
That's the one. We're gonna start you off at the best.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, "Oh, that was good," and I'll be like, "That's good." It never gets better. So
right.
It only gets different. It doesn't get better.
Yeah, it's like reading Watchmen. You're like, yeah, that's it. That's the best one we got.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to read.
Yeah.
I need to reread that because I think I read that in like high school.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I mean, I think just the art alone, you're just like, how did he do that? Like, how did he, do all that? It's like all those 9-panel grids and still tell the story and drawing like Vietnam War stuff. It's just a lot.
Red. Yeah, I know. Especially I'd have a different eye looking at it now than.
Yeah.
Ooh, red. He pops on the red. And then what would I make the other guy? Oh, I'm totally gonna do like I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna do another Japanese reference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rip off the Persona 5. Like, let's just look at Persona 5 images. Have you played Persona 5?
No, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten it. There's like the dialogue. Let's see. What do we say? Like smash. Gotta get like Super Mario Brothers Smash here. Yeah, it's not the right. Cut. The graphics are just so cool in it. No. Dialogue box. Yeah, there's that. No, that's not what I want. I want like the victory screen. They've got a bunch of like it's not exactly what I'm looking for. This makes me want to play Persona 5 again. You know what game I really liked that I played not too long ago is Catherine. It's like a puzzle. It's almost like a Tetris platformer
Oh
game.
yeah, okay.
It's a little lewd, but it's a really fun platformer
Oh nice, okay. What'd you play
if you
that on?
like it. I had it on the 360, and then I think I loaned to someone, never got it back, and then they remastered it to the PS4, and I got it.
Oh
I
okay.
like pre-ordered it and everything. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm getting this day one, and then of course it was on sale for like $30.
Nice.
5 months later.
Yeah.
Um, not getting the inspiration I was seeking here. I would love like a Persona 5 art book though.
Yeah.
I bet there is an art book.
Oh, I'm sure. I think art books like every book, every game that comes out now.
But I bet I can like get it. I bet there's like a way to download Persona
Oh
5.
yeah.
I bet there's some Scribd has it. Do I have to buy this? Oh, here it is on Scribd.
Yeah, that's that one right there. Perfect. Okay. Yeah.
They're like, you're looking at a Scribd preview. You can stop looking at it now. This looks sketchy. Is it sketchy? I'll have to find it another way. How much is it to buy? $150.
No, no, that's too much.
Is this the artist? Shigenori? Huh. I'm sure it's somewhere. But I think I'm gonna do a let's see, I'm gonna do yeah, I use a lot of masks.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, that's good. I didn't even. I feel like I didn't use masks for a long time. Like, which is stupid. Well, the one thing I did use, which changed my game, which is the same idea, but was locking the layer, locking the pixels. But that's no, like I lock pixels for flats. That's definitely smart. And then especially if I have like character flats, separate. And then like digital painting, like locking the transparency was huge because it's like as long as you have your outline of the character, you can then go in and paint the whole character without like worrying about going outside the lines. That was a huge thing for me. I was like, oh my god, I can do this. I don't have to like erase outside the figure every time and try to like stay in the lines and yeah.
Right. Oh, the hub thing's at 2:30. Okay.
Use some perspective here. Do I have? That'll work. Oh, why is that not
Hmm. I kind of want to rip off this Persona thing. I need to look at more.
You know, it's funny. Like you remember things you want to like reference and stuff. And
And
I've known a lot of people that do that, and I'm always like, man, that must be amazing to have a memory like that, to be able to remember specific things as you're trying to, create something. Because I remember my old roommate would always be like, oh yeah, let me go to this comic. I'm gonna use this.
this one panel.
Yeah, like yeah, basically yeah, they would use the composition and stuff, and I was always like, I guess and it would probably look better than what I came up with, but I'm like, I have to make all mine up. I don't really have a choice. I don't.
That's good though.
Yeah, well, but it was just funny. And then the other day, I'm trying to help. Well, there's this older gentleman who comes to sip and sketch, and he is always he's trying to learn Procreate, and he wants to do like storyboarding. So he came. I met up with him a couple times, and I met him over the weekend, and he was like, "Oh, this is what I want to do. I want to do this like drawing," and he told me about the story. It's like a pin-up of his friends for his friend's comic, right? And then immediately, like as he was drawing everything in the scene, he's like, "Oh, is there?" He had this one comic he was looking at, and he's like, "Well, is there a scene like this in this comic I can use?" He's like, "Oh, I want to draw it like this." Like he had to reference everything.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, and I was like he had he had a reference for the overall shot, and then something in the background. He's like, "Oh, well, there's gonna be a church there." So, oh, is there a church in this comic? I'll look in the comic and see if there's a church. And I was like, well, just find a photo of a church and we'll just work from there, something like that. Like, but he really wanted. So I was like, I feel really bad, but I'm like, dude, you can't be a storyboard artist and have to look up, a reference.
Everything.
Yeah, you have to like. Sometimes you just have to wing it. You just have to draw it. Especially people, you have to just draw the people. You can't like have a reference for every single person you draw. It's just gonna take too long. So,
Right.
But
And how did that? You said that to him?
no, I feel, dude. The guy is like in his like 60s, maybe he said like older. So I feel bad for him. He's like, oh, he has some friends that do storyboarding, and he used to do storyboarding for like animation. It looks like 20 or 30 years ago, and but it hasn't caught up. And he's like, oh, if I can do this, I can make a lot of money. And I'm like, dude, if you're trying to like get into this to make money now, like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm half his age, or whatever. 20, 30 years younger than him, but yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, I never tell him to stop, but it's like it's like I'm trying to help him, but it's also like he's really struggling, and I'm just like, oh man, just get a job. Okay. Uh, Yo,
Yo.
another drop. It's the internet was being better. They sent some whatever reset signal to me the other day, so I was hoping that would actually help, but still not perfect.
Spectrum, huh?
Yeah.
Good old Spectrum.
My favorite Monopoly. You know, I need to figure out. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I love Clip Studio. But one of probably the biggest problem I have with it is there's no brush sets. Like, in Photoshop, you just like go up and like, you can just export your brush set or save one or
Uh-huh.
load one or whatever. Clip Clip doesn't have that. Like, Clip is they're all individuals. Like, if you buy a brush set, um, it's actually like just a zip file with like a bunch of separate brush files. Like, it's not like they're not nested together. Each individual brush is a separate file. And so, like, the fact I have literally 4 different devices I use Clip Studio on. And they have like cloud stuff, they're like, oh, sync to the cloud, but it's just not the same as like being able to, like, all right, here's my brush set, let me just drop
Right.
this into whatever program. Like, even like Procreate uses Photoshop brushes now, or it accepts Photoshop brushes, so I can actually just bring my Photoshop brushes into Procreate and use them there, which is awesome.
Oh, funny.
But yeah, but Clip Studio, it's like a weird. So I'm like, I have all my brushes I like here, but I want to bring them over to my iPads so I can work on there, but they don't really. It doesn't work like that. It's like, I think I have to literally export every one to like a folder, zip the folder. You can drag and drop into the program, but you can't drag. And that's a bigger problem. You can't select like a bunch of brushes and export them. That would solve the problem. I wouldn't care then. Like, you can't grab like your 5 inking brushes and then put them into a folder. You have to go to each one in the program and go like copy, paste, and stuff. They might live somewhere in the program. I got to look that up. Maybe that's an explanation. Maybe they live somewhere in the directory as individual files I can grab from. But it's just annoying. You're just like, dude, can I just have my cake and eat it?
Well, I'm glad we finally found some flaws in the
Yeah.
in the Clip Studio.
Yeah. It's a flawless program. Nothing's ever wrong with it. That, and it takes
I'm gonna
forever.
make this.
It takes a while to learn it, but. Oops. This is a drawing thing. I did not mean to do that. Oh, that's why.
Wait.
Yeah, forget it. Where is your... Okay, there you are. I should go to theater mode. Now I can see you better. I don't have you full screened, but...
I'm messing around with spiral.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Back. Yeah.
Where'd you find that?
It's just something on the internet. I'm just gonna try and use it as a reference and trace it here.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool...
There's a few of them. It's like oh, this one's kind of cool though. It's a little simpler. Here, let me put this.
Oh my god, they're doing like the loudest construction near my house.
I like the other one. I like this one better.
I did that a little bit. Okay. Oh, that actually works really well. Bamboozled.
Actually, let me make this a mask. Another mask.
Yeah. Yeah, master. Yeah.
I think I'll just use the lasso tool here. I'm gonna make things like see here. This color is
Door is a different color. Who's the guy in the suit? I don't know if he is.
he's like he's the he's new. He's like a doctor,
Oh, okay.
basically. Did you see the previous panel?
Yeah, the one where he's watching himself on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah. Okay.
so he's there.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that page.
Yeah, that was cool. And like a fun like reveal, right? Like, oh, he's in the thing. I have to go to my.
All these little things that just take forever to do.
Yeah.
Huh, PK. My dog's scratching. She's like, what? I need to give my dog a bath.
Oh yeah, it's something you have to do with dogs. I always tell Brenda I want a hairless cat, but I think you actually have to bathe them. She hates how they look. She says they look like chicken, like raw chicken. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Pretty cool.
Oh, this is supposed to be 4. Oh, wait, I gotta fix this. Yeah, I gotta redo all these. I don't know why I'm changing this, but it just feels right, you know?
Yeah.
I started playing, I beat Spec Ops. Did I tell you that?
No. How was that?
It was good. It's a effed up game, man. It's like playing Apocalypse Now, the video game.
Wow.
And,
It's a first-person shooter or no? Or
no, it's third person.
oh, really? Okay. That's crazy. That's that dark.
Do you have Xbox?
No, no. I kind of. What do you have? Do you have a one or
360.
360? Okay.
360.
I've actually been thinking about buying a used one just because there's some that.
Dude, you can
Some
get
you
it.
wanna get.
I got it for Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I got it. It was like $25.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
So like, and they're only gonna get cheaper. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
they're not even like Sony's not even selling PS3 games in the store anymore. They're like, sorry.
Yeah. Dude, I'm all about like, yeah, I'm totally getting the disk drive versions of the whatever system I get because yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I buy almost all my games used anyway, so like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll buy digital stuff when it's on. Like I bought Thief.
yeah,
PlayStation's having a Halloween sale, and they had Thief, which I'd almost bought. I was
yeah,
like, oh, $10, this, that, $1.99.
yeah. Wow, yeah,
So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll buy that. And then I got Vampire the Masquerade or something. It's
oh,
like I
okay,
think
yeah.
it's basically a visual novel. It's not even really like a game,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's
Nice.
good. I'm toying with the idea of trying to make one of those.
Oh yeah, the. Do you know there's a program that
Yeah,
yeah, my friend was from SimSketch. He was telling me about the program that you use to make them. That somebody like yeah that makes it easier or whatever.
yeah, Ren'Py or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's yeah
So I learned Python a little bit over the summer. I
yeah
was taking a class, but like barely, you know.
yeah
So I don't know. I need to think of an idea, and I'm trying to see. So I got a bunch of these like visual novel games. You know, I got
mm-hmm.
like Doki Doki Literature Club. I got a bunch of other ones that were on sale a while back,
yeah
and I just kind of want to see what's what,
yeah
because it's like I look at it and I'm like, I could do all this. It's my understanding. Like
yeah.
literally, you could make the sound design is a big thing. They have like a little bit of motion in the image,
Oh
like
okay yeah
just enough.
yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
but um, I think this is gonna work nice. This is a good idea I had about the. So I don't know. The thing is, the problem is, it's like time.
Oh yeah
It's like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Everything
given an
time.
infinite amount of time, I'd love to do everything, you know. But it's like, yeah, but on some level, I just need to make more pages of the
Yeah
comic,
yeah yep yep
and it's. I think a lot of these. I don't know.
yeah yeah. No, you're yeah you're right, man. You're making me think I got to step up my game too because I'm like even one thing I was just thinking of as you're saying that is like I was thinking like the panel per day. Like if I just for my own personal
That's a
stuff.
big deal. Yeah,
Yeah, if
yeah,
I like for my what do you call it? Because like my 10 panel tales idea, like my webcomic, like the Instagram thing, that would be huge if I could finish one per day.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd
Oh,
be
that
huge.
would be great. I mean,
Yeah,
a panel a day.
yeah, and really, I mean, and the thing with that is, you know, it should be the whole idea is that it's not. I mean, I want them to look good, and I want to be able to experiment and do
It doesn't
different
have to
whatever.
be like
But it does.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be like this beautiful, amazing thing because people, it's really how you know it can't really look that good for what do you call it anyway. I mean, it's Instagram. It's not it's just not possible to. You'd have to really zoom in to probably see a lot of it, But
I don't know. I still think I got to figure out a way to build an audience and engage with an audience
yeah.
and build it that way so that by the time you do a Kickstarter, it's like, hey, I got this
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not just like, because I see these people launching Kickstarters like, hey, will you promote my page? Hey, will you do this?
Yeah,
And I'm like, guys, it should be.
yeah,
I don't know. I know there are people who buy Kickstarters just because like they look for stuff on Kickstarters, but I think
yeah.
that audience is pretty small.
I don't know. I do that. I mean, but I'm also I don't know. I feel like comic artists, or at least well, sometimes people like me, are. It's kind of like people like they say the only people that go to watch improv are people who do improv. Like it's
Oh,
it's one of
right.
those things where it's like you appreciate it and you want to support it. But I think there are other people. But I don't know. There's just so many on Kickstarter that do well. Like there really are a lot of success stories on there. So I think you can. There probably is, just. But I know you've done. Have you just done one so far? Or how many have you done?
I've done two.
Okay.
And I know they were just for. They weren't for a trade,
Yeah, that could be another thing.
so that's part of it. Um, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I would like to get more. I talked to this one guy on Instagram that Gavazden introduced me to. He draws this comic Pink Lemonade,
Okay.
and he has like 5,000 Instagram followers. I'm like, see, that's about right.
Yeah.
Like you get 5,000, you probably convert about 1% of them.
Yeah. Do you have
I was like, so how did you do? How did you get all that? And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I used to do the Inktober forever. You know, like. So I think he's probably got one over years and years and years. You know.
Yeah.
And he also draws all of Dan's clip art. Not in the clip art, but art for the episodes. Yeah.
Does Dan
Like when yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got a big fan base on there. I think he does pretty well. His Patreon is like, it's not huge, but it's probably like, I don't remember what it is, but it's probably almost 1,000. It's probably somewhere between like 600 and 1,000 a month. Which, like, hey,
for Danny Vazzin's thing?
Yeah. So,
Holy
like,
shit,
if he's got money to turn around and be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'll pay you X amount to do art, I'll pay you this, and then he can deliver it back to his patrons and be like, hey, look what I got you guys.
Yeah.
You know, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow, yeah, I did not know he was that.
He's pretty popular.
Yeah, that's cool.
Especially in that, the Spider-Man community.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, the one thing I would say that you should definitely push more, just to try, like, the thing I don't know, just is get the stuff on Webtoon, man. Like, I know it's a pain to convert it.
Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of the audience is, man. Like, and especially if you want that, like, we're kind of all like freemium now, right? It's all like, we'll give it to you for free, and then when I do a Kickstarter, please, hook me up.
Right.
So I feel like, and there's just a lot of people on there that just, they just dig around and look for, new things to read, and they'll try something out because, it's like whatever. They'll scroll on in a minute, and you have so much content too. So what I would do
is I need to put it on there.
Yeah, right. I think you'd be good. I think you could be good just to release it, like, just release, I don't know, like 5 pages at a time or something.
Which I can
3
do.
to 5. Yeah, like look at other ones. Like I was looking at this. The one I read is what's it called? That sword. Did I send that to you? The sword interval one.
Maybe.
But anyway, but he, like, I was just blown away because, like, a manga artist, they put out so much at one time. Like they release like 20. Each release, it comes out weekly, is like 20. I counted like 20 some panels. So it's like basically 5 pages of content at a time. So I think that's kind of a key. Is like when people, I think it's probably almost better to release less often but bigger updates, because so it can be like a big, it's kind of like a trade. You want to release almost like a trade's worth of or not trade, but a chapter maybe. Something where people get into it, they're like, oh, cool, okay. Instead of just like one page, they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. But like, I think it can work in either way. But I think since you have so much content already, think about doing
just do it.
Maybe 3 pages at a time. Maybe not 5, maybe 3 pages at a time. But I would say maybe consider trying to reformat it. I mean, that's the hugest pain in the ass, though, is trying to go for that vertical format, because you have to cut up your panels, you have to redo all the lettering.
Yeah,
it's a massive pain in the ass. But I don't know. I think that's just where the audience is right now. If you want that casual audience that might then support your Kickstarter, or do stuff like, oh, I'm doing live streams like with Dan, or I do live streams making the comic.
It's another way to.
And you can put all your links and stuff on there. You can do like, oh, here's my what do you call it? Here's my Facebook group, fan page, and here's my I don't know, whatever else, like, do you have a Facebook group? Do you have a Facebook page?
I have a Facebook thing, and I try and post stuff to this, and I post this, and I post this mostly on that, and sometimes on the main page, just so that my main page isn't just totally I looked at my main page and it was basically like a stream, a stream, a stream. I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
no.
I know it's so hard. I don't know. It's so hard to be a creator now, and some people just get lucky. And I'm like, that good for them. But it just sucks when you're like trying so hard and you have something you want to share with people and you think that people will be into, and it's just like, fuck, how do I get people to look at this? Like, what, do I have to go to a certain place? Like, do I have to, do a certain style? I don't know, whatever it is. Like,
Yeah, I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't
So
know anything anymore.
I don't either. I know, like. You look at people, you're like, oh, I can do what they're doing. Like, that's not, whatever.
I think
They're
a lot
good,
of
but
it too is just time, like putting up stuff consistently over time.
yeah.
Um, I don't know.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think, and then especially like doing, if you do one thing, then it leads to the next. Like I know
Right.
that one guy who did that, the Sword Interval, he did a whole other webcomic before this, and I think he even stopped doing that to do this. And someone mentioned that, but people, and I think you're doing the right thing because I think Webtoon's good for you because they want ongoing stuff. It's like they do subscriptions, right? Like
Right.
they like basically say, oh, I want to see this, and then Webtoon will like tell them when it updates or whatever. So plus new people can go in and like, what do you call it? Can binge, the beginning once they find you. Like I'm reading that Sword Interval. He's already on like 250 episodes, and
Wow.
and I'm like on maybe 70 or 80 now. So I still have like, you know, I only read like one or two a night before I go to bed. So
Yeah, the webtoon would not be a bad idea.
yeah. Yeah, it's a pain. I almost, man, talking about assistance, like if you could find a way that would work for you to like maybe someone could help you
Format it.
format and like just cut it up and stuff, and then that way you could be like, okay, like take all of my pages, cut out the panels, and then leave, and then just tell them a standard gutter size. Like that's one thing I was looking at with
Right.
the webtoons is like how much space do they leave between each panel. Sometimes they have like a vertical thing where it's like a sky and you pan through the sky and that's cool, but sometimes just between each panel there's like a white border of like, you don't want it to be real thin because it's not a red, you want it to have a little more space because they're scrolling and it kind of slows them down a little bit. So but yeah, so that's yeah, I don't know, that's my thought. So
I think you're probably right.
yeah, take that as you wish. So
And that would be an easy avenue to like expand to.
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, more.
Yeah, and then just as you update, because I think, I think right now, I mean, doing your own website, that's great, but I think it is just a little outdated, unfortunately. It's like that makes the most sense because you can.
Well, I have them. I have it on two different webcomic hosting sites. It's just not
Oh,
Webtoon.
oh, you do. Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's
Well,
on DuckWeb and Comic Fury, which I get okay traction.
okay.
Like,
Do you have people like commenting and stuff, or
yeah,
yeah, okay,
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, that's good. That's the
So
thing. I think more than anything, it's good to get feedback because I never get feedback on my stuff, and I'm always like, man, I wish someone like just cared, like was like, oh, this is cool or this is fun. Like I don't, have no idea if people like my stuff or not.
it goes up and down, but I'm around like 600 views, 800, 900, anywhere from 300. Lowest is like 47 on up to. Back when I did that mainframe Comic Con, I got like a ton of views.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think just whichever one you think is giving you a return for your investment. But yeah, if you can just put them up as is, that's smart. So you don't have to edit them. But yeah, Webtoon, I think is probably that, and I think Webtoon and what do you call it, Antipastic, because I think they have similar and that might be another thing for an assistant. Like,
I
whichever one is bigger, whichever one has a bigger file like size they require. Say, take my webtoon and then shrink it down to Tapastic size. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
right.
Just that would save some time because that way, you're not having to because they're both the same format. I think. But
I have a new subscriber. I have 18 subscribers on Comic Fury. They're probably like actually reading it though.
that's cool.
I don't know on Webtoon. I mean I have a Webtoon. Let's see how many subscribers I have on Webtoon. Webtoon is pretty legit. For some reason I have to sign in through Twitter on my Webtoon dashboard. I have 37 likes. I don't know what that means. I have it listed as a comedy and heartwarming. But you're right. It's just another. I need to put it on there.
Yeah,
You're right.
And I need to put half breed on there because I'm just trying to learn and just get into the format.
So especially.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah,
take my.
it's like
done
done and
yeah. Actually, there's going to be a. Oh, I need to apply to that like this weekend. By this weekend, my school is having a virtual Comic-Con thing that I guess they do every year, and I just need to like apply to show like be able to. It's just like an online thing where I think you have like you can sell PDFs or physical stuff, and like have a little about you kind of thing and whatever. So like should use those.
This needs to turn into like the computer code. So I need a wall of computer code that I can turn into 011001001110.
Okay, there we go.
What the heck is this? Why is this?
Oh, that's cool. What I need to do is I need to go through my Clip Studio in Photoshop. I have my brushes. I'll just go through and if I find a new brush, I'll like add it to the set or whatever. But so I just have one set of brushes that I use, and then I'll sometimes go through and add new things. But I have them separated into sections. Like I have basically a divider brush that says like clouds or foliage or whatever, or painting. So I just have one, so that speeds things up. But in Clip Studio, I'm bouncing through. They're kind of set up. Their initial setup is for different. You have different sections, right? Like it's like they come preset with like pencil, pastel, blah blah blah. But then they have different sections. Like they have like a drawing one, so that has your pencil, pastel, stuff like that. Then there's an ink thing where there's like brushes where it's like watercolor and oil paint, and then there's an ink. Then there's like a pen section, which is like your G pens and your markers. Like it's just too much separation. I'm like, I just want, it's like my art box, right? I have my little art box. I open it. It's got all my pencils and pens in there. Like that's what I want. I want one thing, and then I'll put in little dividers in there for like sections. But right now I have like separate. I'm always bouncing around. I'm like, oh, I don't remember where that brush is, or so whenever I have free time, I need to sit down and like go through and try to figure out figure out like what I want to do for like I got to consolidate my brushes basically. Like maybe just separate them to two things like inking pens and then like painting, stuff like. But
You got to get organized.
yeah, exactly. I have so many more brushes I still need to look through, and there's like a million sets of brushes I'm gonna buy, and I'm like, but I'm very picky. At this point, I'm like, I have a lot, so whatever I have, I'm like, all right, it's got to be whatever new thing has to be like very either unique or just it has to be like something that's doing something very different than what I already have because I already have a lot of good stuff. So I don't. I always think people want to have like a million brushes. I'm like, no, man, just get you know 20 or 30 good ones, and or maybe 50, whatever. I don't know, whatever your number is, but um, I don't think you need a lot of brushes to succeed.
I wonder if I can just make a wall of computer code that it sort of just disappears into. This needs to be bigger font. It's only 5 font. Cyberpunk? Are you gonna?
Oh shit. I mean, I feel like I have to be part of society. Like all the memes, and I just think everything that's online is going to be about cyberpunk at that point.
Right.
So I better do it.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
I think it'd be cool. I really wish it wasn't wasn't first person. I would like think. I guess a game like that would be hard to do running around a city and like third person, like the camera for like being inside so much. Because I prefer it be like The Witcher, their previous game, but The Witcher, was like all outdoors, so it's easier to have a camera that's moving around. But I don't.
Did you ever beat that?
No, I forget why I stopped. Oh, I think I told you because my friend, I moved out, and then it was on my friend's PlayStation account, so. I could actually see myself going back and restarting that just because I did really like that game a lot, so I could, maybe.
I just finished the Bloody Baron.
That's like the DLC or something, or
no, that's early on.
Oh, that's like in the game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's way early, Dylan.
No, I think that's I don't. Well, side quests and stuff are all. That's a side quest, right? Or no, it's not. It's the main quest.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I just need to. It's just a big time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of I do like. I just love the combat in that game. I love how like engaged you are the whole time. I love that like you got to pay attention. I like how much you have to dodge and like think and like for pretty much every battle you have to be like, okay, I got to really try here or else or put some effort in at least. Maybe not like everybody, but.
Have you played Sekiro?
No, is that the Shadows Die Twice or whatever they got?
Yeah.
No, my friend was telling me about it though, and then aren't they coming out like free DLC for it? Didn't they just do that or something?
Oh, really? I don't know. It's good. It's fun so far. It's let's see now if I can warp this. Where's warp? Window, view, no, filter? Yeah, filter. Blur, distort, pinch.
You're trying to warp it?
Yeah, I'm
just. No, that's an edit. That's edit transform.
Convert to smart objects. Okay, you're now a smart object. Oh, I'm doing something. What am I doing? What is it? It's under edit? No, it's under.
You're trying to change the shape of it, right? The overall thing.
Filter. Is there a?
Well, you're trying to apply a filter to it.
Oh, you're under transform. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Warp, distort. It's also there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's not the one I'm looking for. Let's see. I want skew, distort, perspective. No. It's all fun to learn about, though.
Yeah.
Skew? No. I think I want this filter. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, jeez, it's not giving me.
Because filter, you do like. It's looking there. It's getting there. So filter, we have distort, ripple, pinch, spherize. What's that? Ooh. Can we get a preview of this? You're not going to preview for me? Ooh, look at that. Oh, that looks cool. It kind of works. Let's see. Distort, twirl, wave, zigzag. I want pinch. Pinch sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of doing what I want, so let's see if I can just copy this and make another one.
Ooh.
It's thinking. It's spinning. It's rendering.
You're trying to get the code to spin like the.
Yeah, sort of.
God,
But I can kind of. It's kind of working, so
okay.
I can probably.
Spherize.
get
Oh
it to-
yeah, I think that would look cool if you spherize it. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, where's the code up here?
Yeah.
The problem is when I do this, I have to lock everything else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brandon's texting.
This is a good track. Can you hear it?
Hmm.
Can you hear the track?
A little bit, yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
It's like kind of. It's like upbeat. Is it louder now?
A little bit, yeah, yeah. It's not like but I'm also listening. Like, I'm not listening to your stream, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I wonder what it. Spinning. What it sounds like on my stream.
Trying to get the code to spin like.
Yeah, sort of.
I was just listening to ourselves through the YouTube.
We have one person watching. It's probably you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's probably the perfect volume.
Okay, let me find. Oh, that did something weird.
Yeah, it's like the perfect volume for the skipped frames. 53% over the last 2 minutes.
Oh,
Oh,
where do
I
you
guess
see that
that's-
at?
And the are you using OBS or are you using Streamlabs?
Oh no, yeah, I see it. Yeah, it looks like I'm at 1.4% drop frames. CPU still going good for a computer. I got like, man, this computer's got to be 7, 8 years old. It's still going strong. I actually I don't want to get a new one. I want to like just go and take it. I want to get an SSD put into it, and yeah, I think that will.
Well, I did that for mine, and it made it feel like a new computer.
Really, that's what I've heard, that you can just do that and it'll. Yeah.
Like you
totally.
do that, and that's like the cheapest way to get and make it, if you're like, oh, I don't want to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't feel like, I'm not playing games on here anymore. Like, I was actually looking at. Oh, did you see this game called Hades? Have you heard about that? Oh, dude, check out it looks really cool. It looks pretty fun.
Hades.
Hades, yeah. It's kind of a I don't know what kind of. I think it's a roguelike. Some of those were like when you die you have to start over, but you don't start over entirely, which seems nice in this game. But some people are saying it's like one of the best games like ever. Um, but you run
Huh.
around and like you run. It's like a slasher. You run around and fight things, and you have different powers. And but it's kind of like an isometric view. Like you're pretty high up, and it's like animated. You know, it's like hand animation looking. It's not like
That's cool.
yeah. It's the art looks really cool. It looks kind of like a anime or a comic or something. And then you can like shoot arrows and stuff. And there's big bosses, and you run around and like dodge things while attacking. And it looks pretty fun. And apparently, it's like cool stories and different like the characters in it. You like that's the thing is you die, but like your relationship with those characters is the same, so you can kind of keep uh, going with the storyline, and then you get like you still get to keep your like upgrades to like your whatever your stats, I think. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Hades. I'll look it up.
yeah. Check it out. There's a lot of reviews and stuff. It's only on it's on Switch right
Steam,
now, which I wish I had, but Switch and PC
PC. Yeah.
or Steam, I think. So whatever. But yeah, I'm sure it'll come to PlayStation and other stuff at some point. But right now it's not.
This is so crazy.
Yeah, I've got to find a freaking. I got to find somewhere to put my fan because it used to go where my monitor is now. So like I'm baking here in my room here.
Oh yeah, you can't. You gotta stay
Yeah,
cool, man.
yeah. Do you have AC in your house?
No, but
Oh, no.
Ventura's like. I mean, we're consistently like. It's like 10 to 20 degrees cooler.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So I mean, it's hot, but you throw on some fans and a ceiling fan, and you could get by. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. We've been on the fence about buying one of those like, whatever the cooler, whatever the portable AC units. So I'm just really against those, just because like coming from Chicago and everywhere else where you have like normal windows. I don't know who came up with this in LA, like what demon did this, but the fact that like they're all the windows open left to right, they don't open up and
Yeah.
down. Like
Yeah.
if you have up and down windows, you can just buy a cheap box
A normal
AC.
AC.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
they work so well. They seal well. You know it. They don't take up any room in the room. You know any space. Like
I know. I
it's
know.
so much better. And I'm like, why? Who came up with this? It doesn't make any sense. But whatever. So anyway,
You're like, because I have normal windows.
yeah, yeah.
I know,
Uh,
man.
yeah,
I
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it was like it was hot for a while, and then it got cool again, and I bought like a
Oh,
window
look at
fan,
this. You can like.
but now it's all hot again. Like, what the hell?
Oh, the warp tool is really nice.
Yeah,
You can like really. There's a lot you can do if you really spend the time.
yeah,
This is so funny. This is good though.
yeah,
It's like perfect example of what he's experiencing, you know.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I always think like I don't know. Well, it's everything's a double-edged sword, but like it would have been so much easier back in the day to become like a professional, artist because I think you just didn't have to be like insanely good like you do now. But
Right.
the competition wasn't as fierce. But imagine back in the day having to do everything by hand. You couldn't do your own thing. You couldn't letter your own comic. You couldn't, like
No, yeah.
even in like the '80s when people were starting to do it, it was such a pain in the ass. You'd probably like, I don't feel like doing this. Like, now at least we have the option where we can sit down and be like, nope, let me just do it. Let me just take care of this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting times. Interesting
Yeah,
times.
yeah. I mean, now you
I
have to
mean, a
go to
lot of
these
ways
people.
it's good, because it's like, oh, we can do whatever, and then
Yeah,
other times, I'm sure it's one of those things where it's like, you know, there's it's like a double edged. It's like good and bad. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, well, this, but then we wouldn't have this, and
yeah, exactly.
and the
Like,
internet wasn't around. There's a lot less. I mean, God, what would we do without the internet?
oh God, be a civilized society. Be nice to each other.
Maybe
So,
still be a
not talk about
democracy.
how racist we are openly.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, I think a lot of these people, it's like social media's given us like I think we just had the luxury of not knowing
Yeah,
like
no, I know.
where
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
were, and now it's like, oh, you
Yep.
now on top of how it the algorithms that get you to watch stuff, and it probably slowly skews.
Yeah.
What was that thing on? There was some documentary on Netflix about.
Oh, yeah, the social dilemma. I think I gotta watch that. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
it's really good.
supposedly that was good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like Facebook, I'm like whatever with it now. Like yeah, back in the day, I used to be on like a lot, like every day. But now I'm like, I'll check in maybe once a day or like, But like I don't know. I don't really. It's not like the thing I like try to interact with. I'll be like, oh, let me see what people are saying, and it's just a good general kind of state of society, state of friends and family, thing. But
Yeah.
it's not like the deep dive for anything I'm really interested in. It's not like but there's different things, like artist groups and different things that I'm into that are on there. So,
Well, and Facebook, I think, is great if like the only thing you have on there and the only thing you really engage in is like, oh yeah, I buy like e-learning courses and comic books.
yeah, yeah,
It's not like it's like skewing you to buy more of that. It's not
yeah,
skewing you to think of like another. You're like, oh, I'm starting to think maybe the Proud Boys aren't so bad.
yeah,
Like
right, yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I'm like. Don't do it, Nick. Don't think the Proud Boys are okay. But
that book, Antisocial, is really good
yeah, okay.
if you're looking for a book.
What is that about?
It's basically about alt right groups and the social media sites and
Oh, okay. What happened there?
now what I should do is make okay, I'm gonna save this. Hold on. I'm gonna make all these one layer. This is all gonna be one smart object, and then I'm gonna apply one thing to all of them. Let's see if I screw this up here.
Mm-hmm.
View filter. No, yeah, distort, spherize. See what it does. It did something. I have to make this. I have to make it bigger though. How do I make it bigger?
Okay.
Scale?
That'll do it.
Did I just lose all my.
There's Sturf.
Let's see here. Let's see. I might have to just go back. I don't know. Looks kind of cool.
Let me see. Let me see. I don't know why.
What I need to do is
Um,
apply like a green something or another underneath it. So
okay. So the code is just that section there, that kind of rectangular thing.
I'm not sure what you're seeing. Let me see. It's kind of like it should be like, oh, it's going down into the wormhole kind of thing.
Oh, the code is, yeah, that's what's happening. The code's like going
Yeah.
down, or yeah, okay. Um, I'd almost, yeah, huh.
No, tell me.
Well, I was trying to think like just to make that the code like kind of pop a little more. Like if you made kind of a similar shape behind it that filled with like white but lowered the opacity or something, just to or black or I don't know, maybe in black because usually the code's like green on black, right? That's usually the thing.
You're talking about
Maybe I don't know.
putting above the checkerboard and between the code.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
just so that
Okay.
way because
Okay.
yeah, like, it's a little. I see it, I get it, but it's I don't know. I think it
It's
could
it's not
stand
as
out.
clear.
Yeah, it could kind of stand out, like make it an object, like its own object that's kind of.
Let's see here. When you say make it its own object,
Like make it just pop like it pops as like a separate element on the page because right now it's kind of like it's blending in a little bit too much for me at least
yeah. No,
with
you're
the
right.
the
You're right.
code the
You're
thing in
right.
the background, so that's all I mean.
Let me see. How do I do this?
What if you do on that code layer, do on the layer that it's on, and
Oh, there. What about
yeah.
that? That's a little more something like that.
Oh, hang on a second. Now it has me way back. Hang on a second. It's like it lies to me about how far. Like it said, I was caught up, and then I looked at it, and it was like, um, hang on, it's thinking, it's thinking.
You can't tell it's code, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, okay, but apparently I was 9 minutes behind, so now it's trying to catch up to you live and failing to do so.
You're like,
So
apparently, I was looking at something totally different.
yeah, because okay. Oh, all right. Okay. That's way different because when I was looking at this back when it was still like a rectangle shape, the code.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. No, no, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
still think you're right. I still think I can make it pop more.
What I'd say is, well, just because it's like kind of a soft shape. Okay, I would try either stroking the shape, stroking the layer, and adding like a black or a white stroke to it,
To the
or
text?
no, to the at least
To
to
the
the code.
code?
Yeah, to the code, or um, uh, duplicate the code. This would kind of make it look like that might make it look cool, like 3D. Duplicate the code
Oh, and
that
have a
layer.
shadow kind of?
Yeah, like just make it fill it with black or white, probably black, and then just offset it, a little bit so it's kind of like underneath or. But the other
I see what you're
option,
saying.
yeah, the other option I would say is just to make the background a little darker, so that way like the bright green code like pops out. Because I think that's why
Right.
it's just that the values are a little too similar right now. So
Yeah, I think you're right.
that's all. Text. I gotta finish this two-page spread by tomorrow
Ooh.
for empty
Let's
grave.
see. Oh, trippy. It is 3D ish. I wonder if I can make. So how do I make that background pop more? I also don't need to have code right away. Like the
Hmm.
code can sort of like there's a world where I have code. And let me save this as a different file and
Okay.
experiment here. Let's see here. I think I have to merge these.
I think I am really far behind still, only because yeah, there's a crazy delay because I'm working on like a totally different figure, and I'm since I can see my stream and your thing, and I'm like working on it's telling
Yeah,
me
I
we're gonna
think
put
because
that
when you
like
were showing me the PDF stuff, it took forever for that
yeah to show up. Yeah.
to line up, kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if I like it like code everywhere or.
Let me see. Yeah,
If
it
I
might.
just like it like sort of disappearing into the code.
Yeah. Are you caught up on my stream? Because I feel like the thing I'm seeing. Well, I don't know. I mean, because the thing I see on yours, which I know is back, is behind, is like real. I feel like I was doing that like 20 minutes ago.
This damn YouTube.
Yeah. Come on, YouTube. Be a perfectly free service that
You know what
never
we
has
could
any
do is
conflict.
like we could just do what could we do? Well, the problem is if we do a Zoom, we can only share one screen at a time.
Oh. Why? What do you mean? Can't we both share screens and then with OBS? I haven't tried it yet, but I think you do the
Not
virtual
in
cam.
Zoom. I think it's a one at a.
But if we're each doing it individually, I would share. It would be like sharing my screen and then for the stream at least.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Halo. Did you ever play Halo?
Oh
Were
yeah,
you a
back in
Halo
the day.
guy?
Yeah, I played one a lot. Yeah, and I think I played some of two, but yeah, one was huge. Just played it over and over again. Just played on, uh, played the verses a lot, and played through the single player game multiple times. About you?
I played a little, but I didn't have an Xbox,
Oh,
so
okay.
I never played it as a PlayStation. I was a PlayStation guy for a long time. I had
Yeah,
like PlayStation 1, 2, but then I went to 360,
yeah. I had 360 as well. Yeah, I
and then
think
I
I
went
only
to
played it at a
4.
friend's house. So yeah, I don't think
Mm,
I ever owned Halo.
mm.
Yeah, I play. I would just go to my one friend's house and we would just play all the time. There's nothing here. Oh, I know.
This might be fine. I mean, I'll look at it again later, but the thing is, I'm gonna have like a shit ton of dialogue over this.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
this might
yeah.
be
Well,
like just right.
I would say figure that out first. Like get throw down. Oh yeah, you do it in Illustrator though. Well, I mean, about
But I
Illustrator, there's
can
no
go.
reason.
I can.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can import and do whatever and go
yeah.
back.
There you
And
go. Yeah, because the more I work now. Actually, I'm not doing this page, but I should. But I have the text. I do like a rough pass of the text, just to like get it on the page and see. Especially when I'm doing, even when I'm doing layouts, I think. But yeah, especially when I'm doing my, final like pencils or drawing or whatever. I have the text
you
from
know
the
what?
page. That way, I can like keep in mind where my negative space needs to be or whatever it needs to, not to be important.
You know what I
But
could
yeah, I
do
think
though.
that looks cool. Okay. Here's one question: Is so what is the background like? Is the room actually becoming that void or like that weird
No,
wormhole?
it's
Or
just like he's. It's just sort of like illustrating what he's like. He's lost in a blah blah blah.
yeah, I yeah, because to me it's not bad. It almost kind of matches up, but it almost looks like the room is warping into that instead of that being like a separate, because it's kind of like that's a separate thing, right? Like that's like the room is just
Oh,
the
because the
void is like,
checkerboard.
yeah, and the fact that they're the same colors, so maybe you could change the colors and the values a little bit to make them just
We're
separate
talking about on
things.
the Oh, of him.
Yeah, on the ground, like just to make that a little different, like, or I don't know if the or make the background,
No, that's a good idea. No,
because
that's a good idea.
if the floor matches what you did in the previous page, leave that and then change the background, the special effect background.
Yeah, no,
But
that's a good
yeah,
idea. That's a good idea.
yeah.
Okay, let's see here. What if I? Okay, what if I? Oh, this needs to be way higher. We're gonna get that. No. I see what you're saying.
Unfortunately, I was talking to a girl on came to Sip and Sketch last night or Tuesday, and she was like talking about. I was like, "Oh yeah, I bruised my foot and I can't run and stuff." She's like, "Oh yeah, my father did the same thing a couple years ago. I guess he used to like run marathons." And she
Hmm.
said he couldn't run. He didn't start running for 6 months.
Oh wow.
I was like, I have to wait 6 months to heal. That's crazy. Like, oh my god, I don't want to wait that long.
Like I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, like that's crazy. It takes that long. Like, they actually said if it's not getting better after they have to put me in like this crazy boot. That's like the boot where you like it goes like halfway up your leg. I'm like, it's a pain in the ass.
I wonder if I should just pick a spiral and not the checkerboard after I did all that work.
Oh, well, what's a different spiral then?
Well, it won't be the checkerboard. It's not the floor. It's just like
Yeah.
oh, it's look at this madness,
Mm-hmm.
That way it's like you said, it's not the environment that's like, oh, the room's turning into a thing,
Yeah.
It's like obviously a clear, and then I can make that like a green or a type of green or something. What would contrast with green? Red. Oh, red.
Yeah. Red, purple.
Purple might
I'm a
look
big purple
good,
guy.
but I don't have purple in that scheme in the previous thing. Maybe
Oh,
I just
okay.
have like a darker. That white is pretty white. Okay, we'll try purple. It's weird looking.
Oh, now it's finally caught up. Now I'm seeing newer stuff. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. I like the purple. It pops. But
I mean, it definitely
you don't
is.
have to. You can tone it down like the saturation and stuff too. It doesn't have to be super
Yeah,
strongly, or whatever, or just drop the opacity of the color if you want. The layer if it's on a layer.
yeah, you could drop the
That's the
opacity.
one thing that
Oh, but then
oh.
then we have the checkerboard and the spiral. If I lower the opacity, that's interesting. Is that too much?
Oh.
We could just have just a hint of it. But then it looks like weird.
You know what I would do too is, well, especially if you use the spiral, is I would do something on the edges, like maybe darken it at the edges or something, so it looks like
Yeah.
a separate kind of yeah. You can almost even do a circular radiant, like a a gradient, sorry, gradient
Right.
coming from
No, I
this.
see what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe doing from the center, so it actually makes the black like punches out the black a little bit. That's something I do. I don't know if you ever use this, but it's really nice in Photoshop. They don't have it in Clip, unfortunately. But if, like, say you do a brush stroke or a gradient or most things, when you go to, like, say, yeah, whenever you do it, if you go up to edit, you can do fade. Like, fade, it'll say, like, fade, brush stroke or fade gradient. So you can actually, whatever you just did, you can like lower the effect. So like if you did it and you like how it looks, but it's like, oh, it's just too much, you can go on and just lower it without having to, like, basically the only other way to fake it is to like make a new layer, fill it and then like lower the whole thing, lower that whole layer. But it allows you just to lower whatever the last thing you did was. So I think you can even do it with like adjustments. Like if you do like um, hue saturation or something, you can probably go in there and fade the hue saturation adjustments.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that
cool.
that sounds right.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's okay if it looks a little trippy, if it's like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
whoa.
yeah. No, I mean,
This,
yeah, yeah. We're being nitpicky. I'm being nitpicky, but yeah.
no, but I like being nitpicky. I mean,
Yeah, I'm being so extra with my.
this wasn't a hard and fast line, so there's like this weird gray. See if I can just make that.
I think the main thing is that I would like to see the separation of like the floor and then the background effect. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
here's the curve of um the floor, like that your top whatever, almost your horizon, not your horizon line, but where it stops, and
right.
then like that something that separates. Where like, oh, that's like a separate thing in the background. Like you could have a gradient fading up, so like the light, it's like almost like a projection, or you can even darken it and bring like the dark in, so it seems like this weird, you know, portal hole thing almost. But
Well, I have that. Let's see if but I don't think it's reading.
okay,
Maybe I'll just do like a. I don't want to do a black, but brightness contrast. Try that, and then we do like this. It's almost better to fill the whole thing and then just erase.
oh, okay, yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, like that. But maybe I'll
oh
pick a
yeah, yeah, I like
brush
that.
that's like screen tony, so it's all looks like it's got a little texture. I think that might work. You know what? I'll leave it for now, and then I'll sleep on it, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like I did the other night when got up the next day. I was like, I know what I need to do
Oh really? Yeah. So,
for the
oh, for what the TV, the one where he's in the on the TV on the
No, it
monitor.
was like I changed the background of like when the robot was looming over them. I added a grid at top and zeros and stuff. I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I know what I need to do, but I had to think about it.
yeah,
Well, it's not perfect, but it's okay if it's okay. I'm okay with a little whoa.
yeah.
He looks really dark on the bottom though. How did that
Oh
happen?
yeah, yeah. You definitely. I think you should definitely brighten him up. Him and the table, all that. Just make it. Yeah, that'll really pop
Wonder if that's wonder how that happened. Mm,
I watched this YouTube video last night called it's about Akira and about like how a bunch of people go around and say that like the whole movie was drawn at 24 frames a second, which I guess was like never really done
uh-huh.
by other companies. But this guy actually went back and said that's not true. Like there were certain sequences, like the motorcycles, like pretty much any big action sequence or motorcycle and stuff, they did it there. But a lot of it
Hmm.
was drawn like maybe 12 or even like 8 frames a second. Um,
Uh,
so it's interesting. It was like, oh, like people, yeah, like didn't do their research and just kept regurgitating this, this concept. They're like, yeah, the whole movie was done like that. And they're like, no, they did it where it counted, but still that's like crazy to. And like I don't know, he was going into it and he's like, oh well, you could see here and here, and I was like, I don't know, man. The whole movie just looks awesome. I know you can definitely tell the difference when they do that 24 frames and the crazy sequences, but the rest of it doesn't look bad. Like I don't know, like it's not like
Right,
super
right,
smooth,
right.
but I don't think it's really supposed to be, So
Yeah, he is dark. I think he might just be that dark. I might have to just pop him a little
uh,
brightness. Well, is that too?
well, is it your flat? Like, do you have rendering on there, or is it just flats, or what? Or what do you?
It's rendered on there, but yeah, brightness will help. I'll just brighten him.
Yeah.
Um,
Or you can do an adjustment layer and then yeah, do the brightness contrast.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, there you go.
Um, mm, yeah, let's okay. Let's check the values here. Okay, I mean he pops off the values. The floor he pops too. I can make those checkers a little darker. That might help.
Hmm. Is there some? I think I'm back a little bit. There's like white on the floor. There's like little white spaces in some of the non-dark checkers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to figure out what that is.
If anything, I don't know. You might want to try this. I kind of want the floor checkers underneath them to uh on the actual floor to be like black, maybe fully black, and then the
Yeah.
spiral to not be black. So that way you get that separation of like, okay, this is,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like this is our foreground. This is everything is dark and the most contrast in the background. You're like, oh, this is a crazy effect. So
Okay. Let me try that.
yeah.
What color would the black be?
Oh, that's a great question.
The background. In the
Yeah.
background, I mean, like just a lighter
Uh,
black, or
could be. Actually, color would be cool though. I mean, maybe like
should be
that
like
could really separate it. Like I think about that.
red.
Maybe I think.
Let's try
Um,
it. Let's see what red looks like.
yeah, it's like I'm still in when you're doing checking your
Whoa.
values. So.
That's a little. Might be too much. Of course, I could do a darker red. Now it looks really creepy. Maybe just a dark green. Dark green might work.
Yeah.
What is that on the floor? Why is that shadowy and so I gotta have to find out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Which of my many layers is doing that?
Mm-hmm. What's that like monitor near your head? Is there like another
That's a
monitor?
light.
Oh, it's a
That's a
light.
light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For my uh hmm. Hmm. We don't see it there, so it must be this layer, but it won't go over that. So that means, oh, you know what it means is there's just some weird flats layer somewhere that's like,
Is there either a hole in something or that's yeah, extra stuff on the layer, right? On a layer excess color you don't want coming through.
it's probably like, it's here. It's here. There we go.
Cool.
I don't know if this is actually fixing it, but it's making it look better.
I'm kind of nervous once this is all done. I got to go back to like the original, the first page, the first couple of pages, and look back and be like, does this all match?
Oh, and you're going to be like, oh, no.
Yeah, I gotta see. There was one little thing. I don't know if I even fixed it. Like, he's got this. The one guy, the dude who's got like a warlock costume on. He's got this like thing on his belt. This like decorative thing, and it has like a gem in it. But in the beginning, I had it either point. It either points up as like a point. It's like rounded on the one side and pointed on the other. In the beginning, I had it pointing down, and then later I made it pointing up. Or no, now I made it pointing down, but originally it's pointing up, so I have to go back and make sure that's consistent. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I think sometimes like we can worry about how consistent our stuff is, but like to an outside viewer,
yeah, they'll
be like, oh yeah, it looks like the same person drew it because 90% of everything else you did was similar, so you're gonna it's gonna read.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm done, man. The cell shading, I like how it looks, but sometimes I feel like a slave to it. Like, I look at other books, I'm like, man, their cell shading's so simple. It's like, they're not defining a lot of shadows and stuff, but like me, it's like, to me, it's kind of like that's my rendering stage, right? Like, that's like where I make, I'm telling you where the lighting is and stuff. So it feels necessary to really go crazy with it, but it takes so long.
You're doing good.
Yeah, just one step at a time. That's why I have to stop sometimes. Like, all right, let me do some background coloring just to like not have to do this for a little bit. Because I'm also like perfectionist. Like, what I'm trying to do is do like a rough pass, looking at zoomed out, and then after I finish that, go in and fix it because I want it to like go along the lines and stuff like that. So. All right, man. This page, at least the characters, I think, are done. Oh, I gotta do my.
Oh, there we go.
My fancy thing.
If I can do. No.
Oh shit, that was wrong. Wrong layer. That could have been bad.
Just lock everything so that I can actually do something here. Is there like a lock all layers?
I'll lock all layers. That's a good question. Probably. It seems like something should have, but if you select them all and just hit lock together, it should work, right?
Oh yeah, duh. It's funny. It like puts it. I don't know if that does anything. He can be a little brighter, I think. Hmm.
I really like that last panel. It's with the yellow behind the guy.
Oh no, yeah. Sometimes just a simple.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I like the simple one, Dylan. Can you just
No, I
do
think
like?
yeah. No, but I think it's a good contrast. The only reason it works is because
It's simple.
because it's
Yeah.
simple compared to the other ones. If you did everything like that, it wouldn't look as good. It's that
Right.
contrast. But you're right. It is. No, I hear that same thing. It's like yeah. Oh, let's do the simple thing. I like that simple style. You know. Like, oh, cool. Not the one
I
that
like
takes forever.
things.
They put lots of work into that I prefer to work prefer to use.
Right. No. Unless. So I make this floor a different color. Does that help if I make the floor? Yeah, that'll make him pop more if I do the floor a different color. Let me see. Where's the floor? Floor's like here. So, wait. So let me do it here. It's taking a while to sync to Dropbox. Jeez. Okay, you can go now.
You save everything to Dropbox after you're done with it, or
It just automatically syncs.
oh, that's nice. Okay, that's good.
That's like my
Your
ooh
backup.
orange. It's not what I was planning on. No, that's not where it's at. I have too many layers. Too many layers. So what did I do here? I just made this. Where's my purple? Something was deleted. Why was that deleted? Am I accidentally hitting the wrong keys here? I wonder. Yeah, that'll help him pop. Make the table orange, him blue, the ground blue. I mean, it works, you know.
Okay.
I wonder if I should do, you know what I might do? I got an idea. Hold on. Something I'm doing up in the top panels there. I'm gonna. Kind of makes him pop a little more.
Oh, you're doing a white outline thing.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
works.
like I still think he's really. Is there a reason you want him to be so dark, like
Well,
his
he's
skin?
stone. He's supposed to be
Oh,
stone.
duh, he's stone. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I kind of, especially with this comic, and I think going forward, I've just decided that like I'm gonna try to use the brightest colors possible, just because
Mm-hmm.
I think that like, I've just looked at like old. I was looking at the Empty Grave. One's good. I didn't color one, but two, the ones I colored, I think they looked good on the monitor, but they were too dark when they printed. And I look at it and I'm
Mm.
like, I like the work I did, but it needs to all be brightened like 25 to 50%. And like I said before, like using purple and blue for shadows instead of,
Instead
um,
of dark.
yeah, exactly. So, um, yeah, so I need to just keep that in mind. Um,
Maybe if I make the floor like orange. I mean, I could make him. See, I can import him from another thing and make him more. Let's see, where is he? What do you think now? He pops a little more.
let me look here.
Maybe if I should just make his
Why?
table pop more too. Like just make that like a brighter color.
Where's my? Oh.
What
Should.
color is the floor?
Oh, yeah.
Is it orange?
I mean, that looks. Yeah, that pops. You know,
You're like, sure.
what was I gonna say? For doing outlines like that, there's another way. I don't know if it doesn't work in all cases, but one thing you can do to do a quick outline, especially when you have flats, is to go into like um, select your flats, like select whatever flats of the character, whatever you're trying to outline,
Uh
and then go to selection or select, I think it is in
huh.
Photoshop, and then go to expand selection, and then you can tell to expand it like 10 or 20 pixels. So it'll actually go, it'll
Oh,
be like even all around, it'll automatically kind of give you um, yeah, a like kind of outside. That's just an option.
um, yeah. Let's see. What is? I wonder if I should make that spiral orange. I don't know. I don't really like that. I wonder if I should just get rid of the code. Or maybe make it like less. Oh, what was that? That might work. Or
Is it what mode is the code set to? Like what layer mode?
it's just normal.
Is it normal? Okay. Because it
So if
seems
I do,
because there seems to be like up in the some like where it overlaps the spiral of the thing. It looks like it gets brighter in certain places. Maybe it's just because it's brighter. I don't
I have so many filters though. It might just be
know. Oh, okay.
some. But this is interesting. If I lower the opacity on the spiral, it looks the code pops more.
Um, yeah, well, yeah. That's it's overall just a value change, right? It's like either the bright code on the. What about okay? Here's something. Why not try, um, do a layer mode on your code and do a glow on it, like an inner glow, and just make it brighter.
Layer mode.
Or
Is
like
that
a
like
layer.
color dodge?
Sorry, a layer effect. That's what I mean. No, because it's actually if it's on a normal, then that way it'll brighten up. I mean, you can just change for the hue saturation too, but glow lets I don't know. Glow looks cool sometimes, but
How do you do? Is that a certain thing you're talking about?
yeah. So on your layer palette, go to the FX tab at the bottom,
Oh,
and
okay.
then in there, like you can have like a
Inner
stroke of
glow. Look at that.
yeah.
And then what do I do? Just add normal or opacity 35%?
Yeah, I would try to make it yeah, try different things, but I would try to make it like around the same color or like a yellow. If it's green, try to make it yellow and set it to like
Oh, here, let's see what this looks like.
screen or color dodge or something to brighten it.
It looks the same.
Mm.
Wonder if I have too many. Let me just put it like up top somewhere. Okay, now what am I doing? Glow. Contour anti-alias. Is this the color? Oh, I have to change the color.
Yeah, you can do like the mode. You can do. I mean, you can do.
Oh, it's in screen mode. I see.
Yeah, screen. You can change that and then change the color. I would just say if it's because you're doing green, yeah, keep it some like a bright green or yellow, so it's gonna not look weird.
Mm, I guess it did something. Maybe I should just get rid of the code. Just have it be like a weird spiral.
Oh, that's not it. Yeah, spiral works, but I mean I like the code. Like it that's kind of the thing you're working with.
Right.
The but
Wonder if I just need.
especially I do like the fact that it's like
something.
coming out at us. It really sucks you into that point,
Right.
right? That did you try just duplicating the layer, the code layer? Because maybe it'll beef. Because when you duplicate layers, it like beefs up the pixels around the edges more. So it just makes it more solid. So if there's any
Right.
transparency, like any soft edges, it'll like make it a little stronger.
Right.
I'll try that.
Right.
What I need to do is finish my rendering on my background. Let's do that real
Mm. Okay, now I wonder if I can just distort, twirl. Ooh, what's twirl?
That sounds exactly like what you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's way twirled. Distort, twirl. I think probably a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
Distort, twirl. Maybe I need to go more. Let's go farther. Maybe I'm not going far enough. You can't even tell it's code now, though. Maybe I have too many. Maybe if I just had one. Pixelate. Mosaic. I'm just messing around now.
Yeah.
Oh, it pixelates the code. Oh, interesting. What does that look like? Just looks like blurry code. Maybe spherize is the way to do it. Let's just keep it at that. Hmm. Ripple? No, just it's the let's try Photoshop hour.
Yep.
Oh, it makes the actual text ripple. Oh, interesting. I don't think that's gonna do anything substantial. Render, sharpen, stylize. Emboss, find edges, tile, solarize. What's that? Oh. Interesting. Made the code black. Don't think that's what. Blur. I don't need to blur really. Pinch. What's pinch do? Kind of. That's interesting. Makes it like. Makes it like. I don't even know where this is anymore. What's this? Just my new layer of code here. What's up here? Other. Oh, what's zigzag? Does that do anything?
You're learning so much about Photoshop.
Oh, it makes it all. That's interesting. If you do it subtly, it looks like it's all. Yeah, I know. I'm learning so much. But I've learned so much since then. Wave? That's just going to be like. Oh. Oh, interesting. But you can't tell it's code. It just looks like static. Oh, I wonder if I like distort it a little less. Where is that? How do I adjust that? Number of generators 5. Let's make it 3 generators. Don't know what a generator is. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I still have. Okay, here's what I like. I like the top 2 panels. I like the bottom right. I like. Where's my checker floor? I don't know that I need that checker floor.
Was the checker floor in the previous page?
No, it's here. Remember when I was warping the ground? and it was like the background looked like the. I mean, I could just make this spiral green, and that might be enough of a callback to the other page, you know?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I think I like the code
Like,
idea. I really like the code he had before. Do you still have that? The one that like the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
spherized one. The spherized one. I think that looked cool. I think that really like draws you in and made you feel like, oh, okay, this is like a spiral of what do you, a code that it's going down into the
Right. I might just have to mess with it and
yeah.
make it look better. But the purple looks okay. It reads.
Yeah, yeah, that's a nice. Yeah, everything pops. That actually pops really nicely because I think the purple background, the purple spiral, the like kind of orangey yellow, whatever you call it, floor you want to say, and then him with the green and his bluish skin. They all really read as separate. I really like that.
Right.
That's something in comics I really like is when things really separate really nicely. They're cohesive, but they read. So you're like, okay, floor, body. I think that's one of the biggest things is rather than having everything be kind of like monochrome. I like when things read as separate objects like that.
Right. So I have all these little shapes in here that I could get rid of, I think.
What the hell does this have oh, whatever.
I don't know what that is, but. So do purple spiral instead of green?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that looks good.
Just because it pops.
Yeah, I really
I
like that,
wonder
and then I think
if.
adding
You know what
some
I
with the
could do?
code would look good. Yeah.
Well, you know what I could do? What if. What if the. How do I do this? That doesn't really read as code, though. That's because I have so many filters up here. I don't know what's doing what, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Why doesn't that work? Oh, I found a new brush I like. This is cool.
Oh, there. Oh, that's not as dark that way. So what this needs to be pure. What about that? I know it'll take a second, but
Hmm.
no. I just limited the code to inside the purple.
Yeah. Um, that's yeah. Okay. Well, it's flipping through different stuff. I'm out of coffee. Damn it.
Is it reading yet?
I'm seeing it in the code. Yeah, I'm seeing it in the purple. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that pops really nice. Yeah, the green pops really nicely there. Yeah. And
Is that better?
yeah. It does look like there's some. It looks like maybe you need to duplicate or drag it out because in the bottom left, like right above his hand,
Yeah, there's
you don't.
no
There's
there's no
nothing
code.
there. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
work on that, but maybe that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where is it though? Look at that. That's like looks like a force field.
Let's see it yet.
Doesn't look like code though. I see letters in here, which I guess is okay. I want it to be zeros and ones, but I might have to redo the. Oh, it's 119.
Yeah, dude, we worked a long time today. This is like
We had a good good run. That's good. I have a call at 1:30. Wow, it did
Nice.
took me right up to the.
Perfect. Yeah, and then I'm gonna just eat, and I'm gonna go get some coffee and draw on paper.
Paper.
I know. Like a caveman.
All right, I'm gonna
Well,
think
not
about
caveman.
this. I don't know. I like the. I don't know the code. I'll have to find a way to make the code work. I think you're right. I mean, but the purple, it's clean. The purple spiral, it's just nice and clean.
Yeah, no, I think everything's working, man. I think just figure out the final code thing. It could even be a flat. Actually, the way I'm looking at it now is you have the flat code, which that could even work. But I don't
Well, that's
think,
what I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah.
If I just throw on
Yeah.
a layer of
But I don't know. I do like it really coming out like that. It is cool and like
the spiral.
yeah, and you can just copy like a section of it. You don't have to make a whole new like redo all that the filter and all that to fill
Right.
in that area. Just grab the kind of left area and drag it out until like pretty much matches, and then you'll be good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll still putz around.
Yeah.
All right, man. So
Cool.
Tuesday.
Yep. Cool. Have a good weekend. Keep working.
You
And,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
We'll reconvene.
Yes.
Awesome.
This is good. Thanks, man.
Yep. Later. All right, anybody that's watching, thanks for watching us draw.